Yeah, that's a good one. Incoming.
Here, I'm gonna flash this at you guys.
No, incoming!
Whoa! Whoa! What's the big idea?
What's
So
the big idea?
I was curious, do we have to stick with the name and alias stuff?
Oh no, those are just suggestions on there.
Okay.
That's like if you're really scrounging for something
Sticking
to.
twisted with it.
Oh, it's sick.
Yeah.
They got the family name Akon. I can smack that.
Yeah, and all these are kind of like real sort of ambiguous gender-wise. Like, they're actually a good name list.
Which is absurdly based.
Yeah. Okay, so my first question, step 0 of character creation, is pick which crew/ship that you want.
Cerberus, I think.
We were thinking Cerberus, yes.
I just wanted to make sure that the consensus is Cerberus. Any dissent on that?
My guy is happy, I think, in any ship, and Cerberus sounds cool, so, you know.
Okay.
Holy shit. If that ain't a space spot, and I don't know what is.
That is fucking awesome. Since we have chosen Cerberus, I'll also... this is probably blank. Hold on.
No, I can see that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I can see it, yeah.
And now it's loading. Oh dear.
It's loading. If it's the same thing, that would be funny.
Now
It's
loading
loading.
on
Oh.
The
Narf.
page is loading, I believe.
That's so good. I love that
I
accent.
my character with that voice, like,
The page is loading, it is.
The page is loading, love.
Oh, love,
What's the
don't you worry.
problem?
The page, it is loading.
Ah, the page is loading.
Oh, there. I had to close it and then reopen it to get it to load.
okay. Can you jump scare us with it again?
Please.
Oh, wait, no,
Sure.
I found it.
Oh yeah, it'll be up.
Oh, I also found it.
Information jump scare.
Whoa! Info jump scare indeed.
But
Reading
now
all
that
of
you've
this,
chosen that,
awesome.
we'll leave that there for now and do characters first, since that's the order that it gives us. So I'm not gonna mess with that.
Reasonable, so reasonable.
Reading all of this.
It says
in
pick
in
the
Star Tours and
pick the crew
voice.
type and then pick all the stuff for it
and
later.
Then pick your guys, yeah.
Pick your guys, which
Is
that
this,
does make
this
sense.
where we put in the part on the character sheet that says crew? Are we putting the crew type, or like, do we have to name our crew?
You can
Yeah,
name your
I
crew.
can't find specifically the character sheet anywhere.
Do that in roleplay. It says it's Autumn's character under player characters.
Yeah.
Oh, this is epic.
Let me know if it after you click it if it's not showing up or anything. It's in the it's on the side. In Roll20, there's like at the top there's a tab that's like a little book with sparkles on it, and it'll say journal when you mouse over it.
Oh, okay. There it is. Oh, is that new?
No, this has been there.
This has been here. It's
But
just
not-
like when we
not
don't
everyone
use
uses
in Orcs
it.
that much.
I've had this in
Like
Orcs too.
I go through and I like to scroll through in Orcs because it's got like every NPC that,
Yeah,
that
there's
Turkey
a-
has ever pulled up.
Every single NPC in Orcs is in there, or most
Yeah.
of them. Most of it.
Most
Mostly.
of them, yeah.
But yeah, you should have a character sheet in there,
That I do.
and they should be editable by everyone. So don't grief each other's sheets, please. But
Aw, fine.
You can add more than one dice,
No
right?
griefing, please. No griefing.
so yeah, when it says crew, you can come up with a crew name if you'd like.
Let's do that.
Yeah, what's our
roleplay
crew
or
name?
something.
If you wanted to just be Cerberus, that's fine, I think. But if you want to come up with your own, that's even cooler.
So my idea for my character was she was going to be like kind of hired by the rest of the crew. So I kind of purposefully want to like be an outsider to the crew building process.
Okay.
That's based.
I'm a total mercenary as well.
Okay, problem.
I'm also a total mercenary.
I might also be.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't have to know each other.
I'm pretty flexible. Yeah.
Might I
my vague
suggest?
background is that I'm just. People put up with my weirderies and bullshit because I am a quite excellent Stitch.
I have
that
a-
will not snitch.
I have a suggestion. Just
Yeah.
what if you guys were all hired by some other gang,
Yeah.
but
Secret
you guys
party.
but you guys realize that your
Together.
skills. What's that?
Wait, what'd you say, Ash?
What if we're just a team of mercenaries that works together, and we're just like a mercenary team that gets hired as one group?
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. Sorry,
Well-
Turkey, I didn't mean to completely interrupt you with the exact point that you were making.
Pretty much. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Like,
Not
you
bad.
maybe you
No,
split
it's awesome.
off.
It's awesome.
You were like working together for some other group, and we're like, hey, we're actually kind of awesome. Why don't we just split off and do our own thing and just
Yeah, we're so crazy
Yeah,
nasty.
sorry, I just
I'm
love,
good with
I just
the-
love talking, and I love being the only one who is correct.
That's so true
based,
anyway.
so real.
I'm good with the first meeting situation because I like role playing those.
Yeah, we could all be mercenaries.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, I'm gonna let you guys keep talking actually because I'm not at home currently.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Forget me saying guys. I didn't mean that.
It's so righteous.
The word guys has never been uttered.
The word guys has never been uttered. Certainly not by me.
It's not possible.
Not possible.
Turkey.
yes.
Okay, so part of the bit is that my guy is I'm taken off obsessed on the traumas because he simply he's crazy into just how bodies work
Uh-huh.
to a little bit of a concerning extent for some folks. Now, question.
Yeah, I'll let you do that if you'd like. I'll tell you the traumas.
Yeah,
Normally,
I understand. If you, yeah,
normally it comes into play when you max out your stress bar. You'll be out for a job, and then that'll give you a trauma. And then if
Yeah.
you get your fourth trauma, then you have to retire.
you can no longer be. Yeah, you can no longer be in the criminal.
So I will allow you, if you'd like to voluntarily just take one of those. That is
I would.
a
Hey, guys, there's a-
1/3 strike of your character being retired just voluntarily.
Well-
but
I'm okay with that. I think it'll provide enough cool role-playing things.
it also does give you an XP trigger that if
This is
you
big.
act obsessed in a job, then you can gain XP for that. So
Cool.
there is a small upside to that.
All right, this is big. Question, follow-up question.
Answer,
Vice-wise, would it be classified as weird then if I go to wherever local medical centers are and I'm like, hey guys, do you have any patients that need surgery?
Yeah, that would be. Well, let me. That's the the vices. So yeah, weird is a
Yeah.
vice type. I think. Well, we can read through what the different vice types are.
And you,
Yeah.
it says can you take 2 of those?
No, you pick one vice.
Damn.
And then you can put your vice type. So you would put weird, and then you might be a note about that. Where it says purveyor, that's maybe a quick note about how
Yeah.
you fulfill that, which for you would be hey, I do random surgeries. I do
Yeah,
surgeries
it was-
as my vice.
I'd be
do
doing surgeries
surgeries.
and shit.
On grapes.
I love surgeries.
But,
Do not speak of the surgery on the grape.
Why don't we since you're
Surgery on
picking your
grape?
vice, why don't we just go around and pick our vices? So let me explain what this is. Your vice is how you relieve stress during downtime. Basically, it can be something straightforward, does your character just get extremely drunk or do drugs? But it could be something weird like Slug has done, which is some strange thing. There are some vices. There are vices that you pick from, but they're very general. Weird is the name of Slug's vice, but obviously you can come up with a very specific way that is the way that you do your vice. I'm turning. Where is this? Oh, I'm looking in downtime, but I guess this is not where it's listed. It's got to be in the character creation.
Maybe, probably.
Perhaps. Choose a playbook, special ability, heritage background, action dots. Okay, vice. So the vices are faith. You're part of a cult or observe specific ceremonies at regular intervals. Gambling. You crave games of chance or bet on sporting events, etc. Luxury. You seek the high life with expensive, ostentatious displays of wealth. Obligation. You're devoted to a family, cause, organization, charity, etc. Pleasure. You seek hedonistic gratification from lovers, food, drink, drugs, art, etc. Stupor. You dull the senses with drug abuse, excessive drinking, fighting to exhaustion, etc. Or weird. You perform strange experiments, explore the way, commune with artifacts, and so on. I feel like strange experiments does fit what you just said.
I mean, listen, I just go and I say, hey guys, do you any recent corpses that need autopsies for any particular reason? I just need to, like, check out what's going on. For no reason. I'll do it for cheap.
Brilliant. So I'll ask. I'll just look. You've chosen obligation, meditation.
So, for mine, what like, I was thinking stupor, as like, because it mentioned like getting in fights and stuff. I was imagining stupor would be like taking like random like hit jobs, I guess, for as a pastime.
Yeah, or you could just get into like you could be in like a fighting ring even, or you get involved in that, and just beat people up and get beat up. Or yeah, just like running through the streets and beating up random people.
Batman pill.
No, it would be either hitman job for like taking on
probably like needlessly dangerous like hits and that kind of thing for probably not what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
So you relieve stress from your jobs by doing more small jobs in between.
Exactly. She leans into work.
Workaholic.
It's almost obligation, but I do think it is stupor if you're saying like it's about getting. It's more about like the physical exertion. You're saying?
I guess it wouldn't be. It would be more the mental exertion. So I guess it would be obligation.
Oh sure, okay.
It's just stimming.
Yeah, it's like mental stimulation more than the idea is that she's like she's very efficient and powerful. So like it's kind of light work for her.
Okay, so would you say maybe describe that?
It's to fill your time with tasks.
Yeah, like obligation.
Yes, exactly.
Obligation to your work. Yeah, I see. It leans into more work. Okay, that's perfect. Now we've gone a little out of order here. Let me go back and see.
Yeah, slightly.
So we have our playbooks. Starting ability. So these will be. Let me see where this is. Yeah, you'll see. Playbooks begin with their starting ability marked, which it'll just be right under there. But for Slug specifically, you might want to unmark that. And
yeah, where is that marked? Oh yeah, doctor. There it is.
I'm a doctor,
unmarked.
not a.
Very well.
Yeah. And instead,
I'll copy and paste basically what I wrote in.
Yeah.
Chat. Various alien strangeness.
I'm wondering, there is like an add button. Maybe you can like add a.
Yeah, that's it. I'm doing that. I just have to scroll.
Sick. But yeah, you'll get Xeno. You may spend stress 0 to 2 to perform an inhuman feat only members of your species can do. And then
Yeah,
we've
I'd be climbing
established
and shit.
that you're a freak.
I'm a freak. I'm not normal.
I'm a freak. I'm not normal.
But that one's easy. For everyone else, you just have that ability. It'll just be there. For Autumn's character, it's unstoppable. You can push yourself to do one of the following: perform a feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman, engage a small gang on equal footing in close combat. Krogs is your crew starts with +1 gambit when the pool resets.
Yeah, what's a gambit?
That is like an extra die that any of you can take and add to a roll. That's just like shared between your crew.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
it's it's a reward for doing riskier things sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Question
Yeah.
mark.
Instead of a second blaster here, can I replace it with a melee weapon? Because that's what it says on another one I'm looking at.
Huh?
Here in the items.
The way that items work is a lot different. So this system does not like have
Yeah.
an inventory.
I know.
Guaranteed
It
inventory.
does. So, but
You
it
choose
does have.
anything. Also, it's not giving me the option that I would choose often because I drew my man with a knife.
So what are you saying? Let me see. Look at this.
There's a blaster pistol, there's a second blaster pistol, and I want to change that second one for melee weapon. Because I filled it out earlier on like the Google sheet that they had on the website, and that one is on there, and it's not on this.
Oh, that's weird.
It is strange. Actually, let me look at this.
Where
It's
there
supposed to be
should be
something.
like general tools. Maybe that's Wow.
Is that perhaps? Yeah, this seems a little
Is it wrong on
slightly
this one?
limited. Let me check here.
Why do you have mystic ammunition?
I don't know, but scoundrels get that. It's
See
on
here,
both of them,
standard
so I
items,
assume it's
page
correct.
66.
Interesting. Oh,
Here's what it has on the Google sheet thing.
Hey, gang.
Hello.
Hey,
gang.
Sorry for
They
taking
open.
so long.
I guess, are you
You're
allowed
good.
to
All good, all
petition the
good.
DM like I'm trying to do here?
Melee weapon is a standard item in the rulebook.
oh, so you
Okay.
should be able
Whoa.
to have that.
Or roll
Alright, I'm just
20.
gonna add that then.
I'm
I'll
Turkey,
I'll
where the,
copy and paste, that.
the character sheets.
It'll be in the if you are new to using the Roll20 journal. It's on like the there's like a tab on the right that's like a book with a sparkle.
It's
and then it'll
posted
be
in the
under-
scheduling channel.
Yes. So yeah, everybody should be
Posted,
allowed to
standard
have.
items.
I'm surprised that it's not included on every character sheet, but you should be allowed to include the standard items in your loads. Like anybody can use those.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you can have blades, and you don't have to
And
replace
load
anything
weights.
for that.
In the dark.
Load weights are more like conspicuousness levels, right?
Yes. So this will be before a job.
yeah, I'm confused about this.
Okay, let me explain. So, the game is divided into 3 different phases of gameplay. One phase is called the job, which is when you're doing something dangerous or risky, like specifically to like get money. And during that's when you're like most of your stress is spent, because you're like doing high stakes stuff, you're getting into gunfights, etc. So that's a job. And then after the job is complete, you have downtime, which is a completely different set of rules that of gameplay that is specifically for getting your payment, for doing any like building stuff, for like commiserating, and then maybe even finding more jobs. And then there's a third phase of play, which is just free play, which is just like standard role playing, but like low stakes. You're not like getting into too much danger or trouble, and often that's when you're starting to like plant seeds of where your next job is going to be. And it's sort of the play kind of goes in a cycle of these sort of 3 phases So during a job, you're going to pick right at the beginning of it. You're going to pick what size load that you would like, and as Krog said, it's about how conspicuous you are. A light load is something that you could actually get past a search probably without them actually finding your weapons and such. A normal load, to the naked eye, you don't seem to be carrying very much, but if you open your trench coat, maybe there's a gun. And
So what you're saying is my character would be a 6 heavy.
but it's by the job, and so you can adjust. You can take a heavier load or a lighter load depending on what kind of job you're doing, and you can all take different loads. Like you could take a heavy, but Krog's character might decide that that's not the best for his, so he'll take a light because you're going to be more fighting people, and he's going to be maybe sneaking in somewhere. So you can really you can strategize with the load size. Now you don't need to plan exactly what you have before you go on the job. You can decide in the moment which of these things on this list that you want to just have on you, and it's just sort of Schrodinger's item in your inventory until you pick it. What the load size determines is how, and what that 6 would mean is that you can tick off 6 items total during that job.
Okay, and if there's a thing with 2 boxes, does that mean it counts for 2?
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
it might mean that
believe
you can
so.
use it twice, but they do count for. It counts as
I'm
one
pretty
use
sure-
per use. Like it'll be 1 item per use, essentially.
What I've got here is like the Find Medkit it's got 2 boxes. Book
Yeah.
says it's to load.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then it counts for 2.
Okay. But you said that the standard items don't count for load?
They do count for load, but anybody
They do
can
count for load.
anybody can choose from those lists. So you have a different list of items that you can have based on your playbook, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, so the standard items list is not relevant to everyone necessarily.
Necessarily, yeah. But if you wanted something like Krog was just asking for just a melee weapon, which is a very common thing to have. So if you're looking for something, anybody can take from that list. Whereas the other ones are more specialized to what you might have as an individual playbook. So is that let me give you an example. Imagine you don't expect to get into a gunfight during a score, but somebody pulls a gun on you, and you can then tell me I'm ticking off a blaster weapon, and I pull out my blaster and start shooting. So you didn't need to decide until the fact that I told you were getting shot at that you had a gun until the moment you needed to have one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. If I were to throw in a shield, how many should I do it? A 2? Obviously, that would be more of a 2 heavy load, right? Or a 2 load,
I think
because it's less conspicuous.
I think for you, I will let you, as long as you mark Sunder, where it says Find Vibroblade. I think if you mark
But I was
that,
planning on using that as a melee weapon, anyways.
yeah. Oh, you were gonna use that as a
Well,
melee weapon. If you
the shield.
Okay, you were gonna use this as if you mark a blaster pistol, I'll let you use it. Use your shield in
You
that
can
place
also
of that.
you can also edit the text. So if you edit one of the blaster pistol options as the shield, then do it that way.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Turkey, quick question.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm also reading a little out of the book. It says for some of my Stitch specific items, some of them are listed as 0 load, but they still get a box on the sheet.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Is that just you can have them?
you can just have them, and you'll see anything that's in italics on here as well. Those are 0 load items.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you
Epic.
can just hit it, and it'll fine martial art
No.
style. That's not a
My
thing that you have.
illicit drugs, they're 0.
What
Yeah,
the
'cause
fuck
it's just
is
a
mystic
pill.
ammunition?
There's probably there's a description probably. Let me see.
Wait, where the hell is martial arts style?
It's in the muscle playbook.
Oh, that makes sense.
Let me see.
A
a
large
large
caliber
caliber-
shell. Oh, okay. Nope, you can go.
Okay. A large caliber shell fired from a specialized gun that releases mystic energies when it hits, grants potency against mystic targets. That's what mystic ammunition is.
I mean, it doesn't count for load, so I guess I'll take it.
You don't need to take anything now. In fact, you shouldn't strategically because you don't want to. Your load is basically a resource that you can use. When you click something, you're locking in that that's something that you're carrying with you. But you essentially have the whole list to choose from until you choose something, if that makes sense. And it is by a job basis. So those things are available for you to possibly have, and then the moment that you need it, you can click it, and that'll strategically be that's the best way to do it
I'm going to go grab
for
some
your
more
own
tortilla
sake.
chips.
Even if you
Hey,
know
where's
that you're going to be
the,
clicking something almost every time, it's still better to do that way because you just never know exactly what you're going to need.
Where's the fucking action dots? Where do I put those?
We'll get to that in a second. Did you? We've got to do special ability first here.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. I
Let
gotta
me
pick
see what
one.
you chose.
Mine down is scary.
My bad, gang.
Oh, Construct Whisperer. Okay. Yeah, so underneath the starting ability, you can choose one of those, and if you
Yep.
if you're getting choice paralysis, the game recommends that you choose the first one. If you,
Yeah.
only in that case. But if you have one picked out,
Yeah,
that you
construct whisperer.
go for it.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Sorry, I wasn't. Yeah.
Question?
Yes. Are you barred from choosing your starting ability as your special ability choice?
Interesting.
Just
You know
because
what?
it seems like a
Since you don't
fairly
have
good one, frankly.
Yeah, I think I'll allow you to choose that.
Okay.
Since
I'm
you
gonna
have
think
a-
over whether I'm between that and Physiker here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll allow you to do that. I don't know if that's kosher with the rules, but to me that makes sense. So I don't know
Hey,
where
kosher
that
with the turkeys, kosher to me.
Yeah. But yeah, you can definitely choose if you want to do that or not.
I think it seems good. It's also the line "Say which patient researcher posting taught you this trick" seems like it'll be a good bit.
Oh wait, when playing as Xeno, you still have the special abilities and starting. Oh wait.
I'm back. Hey guys.
Hey, gang.
Hey, what's up?
Hey gang. What's up? Wow.
Whoa, what are you
Wow,
doing here?
guys.
The
let's
Cerberus page is still not loaded for me, which is funny.
Close it and just reopen it, I think.
So yeah, has everybody chosen a other special ability?
I have, yeah.
Wait, another special ability?
No, just you get your starting one and
Just
your
a
one
ability.
choice.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, are we going through all this together?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm going,
Oh,
trying to
my
go
bad,
slowly.
Try to go slowly together. My bad.
Okay, the next thing we'll choose then is heritage. So I'll just quickly go through what these are. Imperial heritage, hail from Warren or the core worlds. You were brought up and educated in the ways of hegemony through a guild, vocational education, cult teachings, or noble family tutors. If you'd rather be more at home on a creaking ship, you could be from a spacer family, ice miners, station mechanics, and most merchants are born grow old, and die in space, and may or may not view your terrestrial ventures with suspicion.
You can't hear people scream there.
The exact opposite are colonist families. Farmers, miners, and terraformers form the backbone of the hegemony, fighting for a living on the borders of planets. These folk deal with alien beasts and odd precursor ruins more than most. Manufactured quote-unquote families are fundamentally controlled in some way by the guilds. For example, a Yaru clone who's escaped from a facility, or an Urbot that's avoided routine memory wipes. I think for Ash's character, that's probably the one to go with.
Manufactured, yes.
You may often have to hide your origin and independence. If you want to be without a planet to call home, you could be from a wanderer heritage. A small but notable portion of the hegemony move from planet to planet as opportunities emerge and galactic economies cycles shift, or just follow where the way takes you. And then lastly, Xeno families are as diverse or as the countless kinds of Xenos in the galaxy. You are raised in a non-human culture. Xenos struggle to find acceptance in the hegemony, and many of their practices are seen as strange or unusual. We got one Xeno in here.
Grew up Xenoing.
I was about to say wanderer for mine, but then I realized the idea is she's kind of like a member of like a warlike tribe almost, because I'm going for the Mandalorian thing.
Yeah. Okay, so are you part of like a what describe for me like what, so you're doing like a Mandalorian type, but what is this sort of a,
just Mandalorian?
Is this like a religious group, or?
Yes, they're essentially a religious group whose religion is weaponry and war.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's basically what it is. There's different like sects of it, but like
Sex.
specs.
What?
But the idea is that like weaponry and armor is to be treated with the utmost respect. And I was kind of thinking about the vice being something more like ritualistic in regards to like, you know, caring more carefully than the most insane gun nut would for her weapons.
Oh, okay. So you could be like, your vice could be obligation to weapon maintenance or something like that, if you wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. For the heritage, what do you think would?
I'm doing something similar, and I just picked colonist.
Yeah, I feel like colonist because
isn't like mainstream imperial.
And yeah, it's not, because imperial would be like the most like you're living a standard, but you guys are from cultures that are not
and
of this place.
Yeah, and in Star Wars, the Empire like really oppressed the shit out of Mandalorians.
For sure. Do you have a name for your not Mandalorian?
I'm trying so hard to think of one. The names are always like the hardest part for me because I can never come up with like good ones unless I have like a gimmick.
My guy comes from the village hidden in the stars, yo.
So yeah, I probably could do colonists. You can even add a note on there, like if you want to put like a quick note after colonist, you can always like put like a little like Mandalorian-esque world or something like that. These do have a mechanical thing in that after a job, when you mark XP, there will be like a question about whether your background or heritage like came into play.
I just realized it would be better not as obligation but as faith for the vice.
Oh yeah, true. Faith, yeah, and it's because you're from
because it's looking towards like religion.
Yeah. That's I like that. It's
Thanks,
like a
Mad Mech
cultural worship of weapons.
And I can't see the list of backgrounds anywhere because it's not showing up on my character sheet anymore.
I can go ahead and post that in rules if that's fine.
I also have a suggestion, because military says I cannot say this, hegemonic, soldier,
Yep.
mercenary, intelligence operative, strategist, training instructor, etc. But I actually feel like what fits more for you is cult, part of a cult, officially
Yes.
sanctioned or not.
Okay.
A holy
Yes.
warrior, priest, or a religious devotee. I feel like holy warrior, I mean, that just sounds like...
Yes.
Exactly
Yes,
what you're
that's
describing.
exactly what it is.
You can even put like cult - holy warrior on there.
Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a vaguely difficult time on the background.
Yeah.
Because my idea being that largely Fi just kind of floats around taking work with anybody who typically it's, vaguely underworldly, vaguely criminal, because they're a bit of a freak and no actual respected medical institution wants them.
Yeah.
It's like syndicate or labor, right?
It could be
I guess,
syndicate.
yeah.
Like if you're more of an underworld doctor, it could be syndicate.
Yeah. Yeah, syndicate,
God knows
probably
it's
without
too
like explicit like ties to any one gang, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just sort of a thrown around doc.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
I think so.
It
Works
could
good
also
enough.
be like labor, yeah, because like
Yeah.
because you are like offering a service, although like a highly specialized service, but still
But still a service.
like it's sort of like
I'll,
in the veins of like a
I'll go labor.
yeah. I feel like that makes sense
Big.
because it's not about serving criminals for you. It's just that you're just going where the work takes you.
Yeah, it turns out criminals are the ones who want me, so that'll work.
You're just not like a
Call
educated
me
doctor.
Saul Goodman.
You're
Yeah.
educated. You're self-educated. You didn't go through a
Yeah.
formal channel or something like that.
Might be practice.
Yeah, no, I don't worry. I've got the knowledge. Don't ask me where from.
We
Practice.
don't start with a special ability on the ship, do we?
You might. I think we will get to choose that in a second here.
Oh, hell yeah.
But now that has everybody chosen a background? Anybody confused?
I'm gonna do labor.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
We haven't talked a lot about your
Yeah.
character. What is
I haven't. So okay. I had a couple
remember-
ideas floating around.
Space Nuku, and I thought that was really funny. And I think my
Space
character would be a
Nuku
fan.
was my initial thought, but then I realized I don't know how I would roleplay Hatsune Miku. And so I was
You pull out the Vocaloid engine live.
well, the
and-
Vocaloid.
That's what I've been
engine.
saying.
I could pull out. I'm not gonna do that. But I was like, that was my like fallback plan sort of. But I was sort of looking for something else. I talked to a friend today who I was just hanging out with like right before I hopped in call, and her idea was to do like based on my talk from her, I want to do one of two things. Should I be like my two ideas are either Pinocchio or Frankenstein's monster, essentially.
Fire in either case. I love a Pinocchio.
Fire in either case. Basically, do I want to be like an optimist at heart whose first emotion was love, or do I want to be do I want to be like sort of a jaded person who's optimistic at heart and whose first emotion was love, or do I want to be like in slightly edgy guy whose first emotion was like anger and betrayal? What do you guys think?
Hmm. I will say, I mean, actually, Krog, what's the tonal vibes on your guy on Mr.
Kind of silly.
Yeah.
What's the total vibes we're going for?
My guy's a funky little creature, but I can honestly tone switch in whatever way.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like either of these two, I could play them serious or not serious.
We can go a little goofy with it. It is a one shot.
That was a one shot.
I love these characters. For it to be one shot.
Oh no, I'm going to be keeping this character in my back pocket.
Yeah, real.
What one do you guys think?
I'm
Do you guys have-
gonna be making more like serious, but you know.
I guess I'm.
Give us a Pinocchio, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Pinocchio?
Pinocchio.
And when I say Pinocchio, I don't mean like jolly naivete. I mean, I could do jolly naivete. I don't know. But in that case, my backstory was I was constructed by a mechanic who got old and needed like a couple, like an extra hand around the shop and whatever. And then just like kind of, but also like intentionally didn't ever like reboot my iCore or whatever.
Yeah. So
and then like I don't know, like my fucking town got blasted by the hegemony or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so sad that they did it for no reason.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is really sad.
Also, to add to the tragedy of this, so Urbots are like they do have very low social rights in this setting. They are technically there's a patent for them that the hegemony has, and if you aren't like a licensed Urbot, they'll take you in and wipe your memory, including your personality, effectively killing you. That's and that is why I decided to join a life of crime and perhaps Scum and Villainy. Yeah.
And became a mercenary with this group, is because I was
hives and whatnot.
If you had gone with
on the run, sort of, and
you don't want to forget your beloved creator.
Didn't want to forget my beloved creator, and so that's why I had been on the run from the hegemony and sort of fell in with the criminal mercenary, the scum and the villains of the
If
galaxy.
you had gone with the robot idol, I would have 100% made my character a fan, but I can also just steal that idea.
So I feel like your background being labor does make sense. There's a little bit more emotional attachment to your background in that you maybe put a note like labor for my father or something.
For my father.
My father.
I don't know how to convey that touching
My
story in
father.
like a tiny background.
My idea for if I was Frankenstein's monster was the exact same thing, except instead of dying, he sold me. So.
Oh. Labor for my
You're
dad.
Mega Man, dude. You're Mega Man.
I'm Mega Man again.
You're literally remaking Min-Max again.
Okay.
Real.
We've got our heritages. We've got our backgrounds. Now we do choose one friend and one rival. So you will each have your own unique list. It'll say, I think it might just say for everybody colorful friends, or it'll say friends for somebody.
With quotation
Old
marks.
friends.
I did that, and I'm pretty sure you can also just like make them whatever you want.
So I
So-
gotta know, what the fuck is a blaster pistol doing in my friends list?
I
What?
don't know.
It's your friend.
Maybe it's your friend.
That shouldn't be
It is
there.
your friend.
Maybe you're talking to your gun, you know?
Maybe it's like
God
Skippy
bless.
from Cyberpunk.
Oh, it could be.
I'm not seeing
But I
that
think
in
it's
your,
supposed to be, like,
your-
useful
Yours says
contact.
it says deadly friends for yours, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
is
it
each
says
one
the
different?
top-
That's cute.
Oh yeah, why does
top
it say
one-
that?
The top one is Krieger, a fine plaster pistol.
That should not be there. Because that's also an
Awesome.
equipment item for you.
Yeah.
That's
Let me
silly.
remove that.
Let me actually look at the actual muscle list in the book and see what is supposed to be there.
Yeah, because it might actually intentionally be there.
If you can be friends with your pistol, maybe.
I mean, I put
No,
the
it actually
in
no.
my gun.
I was wrong. It is intentionally on the list, and it even says a blaster pistol. Is this your favorite sidearm, or is it a rival carrying it to use on you? Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you just put whatever you want in? I did that.
You can if you have an idea.
I did.
But you can. So you choose one to be a friend and one to be a rival.
So I've got like an arms developer I will test out their stuff in the field and they give me a little bonus. And I've got like a mafia don who I pissed off on a job.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, there's an up arrow, down arrow. Okay, it looks like everybody's got somebody. Sick.
So it's you pick one up and one down.
Yes. So one of them is your friend, and one of them is your rival. And those can come into play. You can meet with either of them. You can even meet with your rival if you'd like. Talk to them.
Love me, blaster pistol. Hate the police. Simple as.
Simple as.
I'm not using
Simple as.
myself. Okay.
Did you choose your blaster pistol as your friend?
I did.
That makes
Seemed
sense.
appropriate.
That is your character, essentially, in a nutshell.
Yeah. I was gonna say like gun cultist. Yeah.
This gun speaks to me.
Literally. I'm gonna go ahead and permanently mark Krieger as a part of my load as well because.
Oh, I
let's be
skipped.
real.
I skipped action dots now, which Ash wanted me to get to. So you'll see that there are some already picked here. So let me explain. The layout of this might be a little confusing at first, but so there are 3 categories: insight, prowess, resolve. Those are your attributes. They will be represented by the column on the left. You'll see like there's like a line that separates some of the action dots. So by picking some of these in these categories, if you pick like multiple in prowess, then if you at least have 1 dot in them, it'll increase your like general attribute that it's in, if that makes sense. So like the row is the action, and the first column is the attribute, which is used for resistance rolls. So you'll see that you already have some filled out. Those are your default for your playbook, but you'll get to choose 4 total. 4 more total, I should say. 2 of them, it recommends to relate to your heritage, and 1 to your background, and then the other 2 to put wherever you want. And you can only add up to a maximum of 2. You can't get a full 3 of them yet.
Okay. So we start off with only 4.
Yeah. Well, you have also the whatever,
In addition to the ones
that are already there, which is like 4.
And by the way, for anyone looking for these are on rule reference page 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for the description of what they do. That's great.
Hey, yo, look at him scramble.
Look at him go.
Yeah, attune is to the way to communicate with non-sentient species or robots. Command obedience with your force, personality.
I might
A
be
lot of these
scared that
are common sense.
I might end up with the highest sway, and that's a little scary, but also very fun.
That is very well. Power of friendship, duh.
Mm-hmm. The talk jutsu or whatever they call it.
Sure.
I swear to God, I did not have Naruto in mind when I made this.
It's clearly
Remember that you can't have 3 in them yet. That'll be.
Oh, okay.
you have to start with 2, and then you can build up to 3. And then eventually, if you get I think there's a crew upgrade that you can get to 4 actually eventually.
Correct.
So in addition to the default ones, I add 4
4
random
dots.
or 4
Yeah.
4 dots.
Yes.
4 dots.
4 dots,
And
nothing above 2.
So if I wanted to pick 2 attributes, I could then level those up 1 more.
These are just assigned to actions. So the attributes will be the column. You're just assigning them to the actions themselves. So the attributes is more of a byproduct essentially.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like
They don't have to all be. You could put them all in prowess. You could spread them between insight, prowess, and resolve.
Oh wait, hold on.
You can do
So
them
when
in
you
any
put
action.
when you're putting your dots in, are you putting them on the triangles or on the rectangles?
The triangles.
Triangles.
Okay, cool.
What the rectangles are XP trackers.
This makes sense. This makes sense.
So sorry, this is on rules reference page what?
Page
For
1.
the
1.
2.
1.
Liar.
Got
That's
me.
a lie.
Tee.
And it does say, assign your action ratings like this. Increase by 1 any action that you feel reflects your character's heritage. Increase by 1 any action that feels reflects your character's background. Increase 2 more actions anywhere you like. So it does recommend that you sort of tie them in, but you can obviously
have it make sense
says-
with your character.
yeah.
Increased by 1.
So it's 4 total, but it does like say
heritage and
tie them into your background. But I trust that you will.
okay.
I'm gonna stream because I'm still very confused.
Yeah,
I
go for
need
it.
to.
It's
I
hard
need
to
more
describe what
direct-
I'm meaning
You've got 4
visually.
triangle pips.
Yeah, no.
those.
Let me
I'm taking
directly with Turkey here.
Yeah.
So normally I don't have. This is my default setup.
Yes.
So if I have 4 pips, could I do that and then have 2 more, or do I have to do like
Oh yeah. And then you have 2 more. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that?
That's the first
Yes.
line.
That's perfect.
Okay, cool. So I can be kind of good at like a lot of things, or like better at like a specific thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you spread out the amount of actions you'll see incidentally that makes you a lot better at the resistance rolls. So really, either way you go, you can either go tall with the actions or you can go wide with the attributes, if that makes sense.
Oh, I see how that works.
Yeah,
Wait, so
instead of the attributes being its own thing, it's tied to like however many. At least if you have at least 1 dot in an action of that category, it gives you a dot in that attribute, which is a little confusing to explain, but it's a clever way to like tie those together.
sorry, Turkey. Could you remind me? I started as I started with 2 in rig and 1 in study.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. Alright, we're good.
Wait, I didn't mean to do study. I meant to do rig. There.
Okay.
And then we got everybody's. Not everybody's vice. We got Autumn's vice.
I don't have a vice yet.
We got Slug's vice, which is really fun. Oh yeah, ninja meditation. Yeah. What does a robot do for advice?
That's a good question.
It can be
Yes.
pretty abstract. I mean,
It can.
you do have to choose one of these. It has to be faith, gambling, luxury, obligation, pleasure, stupor, or weird. But you can kind of
Is
interpret
there-
one of them in a way that makes sense to you.
Is there a list of descriptions for any of those, or is
Yeah.
it just so I like?
I don't know if there's one in these references, but I have one in the book right here that says, faith, you're part of a cult or observe specific ceremonies at regular intervals. Gambling, you crave games of chance or bet on sporting events, etc. Luxury, you seek the high life with expensive, ostentatious displays of wealth. Obligation, you're devoted to a family, cause, organization, charity, etc. Pleasure, you seek hedonistic gratification from lovers, food, drink, drugs, or art. Stupor, you dull the senses with drug abuse, excessive drinking, fighting to exhaustion, etc. Weird, you perform strange experiments, explore the way, commune with artifacts, and so on.
Okay.
Which a lot of those,
I
it'll
think
be
gambling
interesting.
would be fun. I think gambling would make sense for a robot to do.
I think that's really fun.
That's awesome.
Is it just
No
straight up?
kidding.
What kind of gambling do you partake in? Because there's lots of different types of gambling.
There are lots of different types of gambling. I feel like
Is there a
Maybe-
sabak? Is there a sabak equivalent?
specifically, games of chance against human, like poker, where you have to read your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sabak. You would, dude.
Oh, sabak.
you're- Yeah, sabak.
We can make that a thing. What? How is this spelled?
Sabak.
SABACC.
Okay.
SACC. Never mind.
Is this just a Star Wars card game?
Yeah,
It's Star Wars poker.
Got it.
yeah. Sabak is Star Wars poker. It's how Han won the Millennium Falcon from Lando.
We haven't.
Ah,
Fire.
He like cheated at Sabak and won it.
okay. Awesome. Sabak player. And then lastly, I think we got record your name, alias, and look. As long as you have some sort of name, maybe an alias. That's good.
One of my aliases is that fucking weird guy.
I can't think of one. I'm still trying to think of a name and an alias.
That's okay.
It's the part that I struggle with the most.
If you really are stumped, you can just sort of like peruse the ones that they have there, and maybe just use it as a creative leaping off point.
Autumn, you know who your character reminds me of?
Hmm.
Street Fighter 6 Marisa.
Oh shit! Real.
Real.
Okay.
Got it.
now,
She gets buffed.
No clue. Anything? I don't know anything about Street Fighter.
Well, all I need to know is that there was a big woman and her hair looks like a helmet,
Yeah, then that's part of the bit.
and she beats your ass.
I believe she is Roman. Yeah.
That's like all my characters.
now that we are, while you're thinking about that, let's do the crew real quick. So we want to choose
Yes.
a reputation. So this will be, as a group, like what your group is known for. So you will start off having known each other a little bit, like maybe have gone on a couple of jobs. We're going to be a little in media res, meaning you guys already know each other. Maybe not
Okay.
very well, but you have worked together
I've
a little.
heard of these goons, maybe from other venues.
And you're starting, and you'll be starting a job. Like when we start playing, you're going to be starting at the start of a job together.
Yep.
But so this can change later. But what do you think that your guys' reputation would be from this list of adjectives? So we got ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, strange, or subtle.
As a collective, I think we're strange.
I think you guys are
think
strange.
we are a
I think
strange
we don't
bunch.
really have to deliberate much on that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put strange on that. And this will be on the Cerberus sheet. Oh, I see someone else got it before I did. Okay.
Is that I'm noticing some parallels here with some Star Wars stuff. The Firebrand type patrol craft. That's a fire spray. That's a fire spray.
There's a
from
lot
Star Wars.
of heavy inspiration.
That's the Boba Fett ship.
Who knew that the system called Scum and Villainy might
No, yeah,
maybe
but
replace
like
some things.
I'm just happy that we chose the Boba Fett ship. Like it's this one.
Yeah.
Like this is a Fire Spray 31 patrol craft.
Um,
That isn't
the lore
normal.
of
Whatever
this,
we want, but I don't have any idea.
now,
the lore of this setting is pretty much just Star Wars with like a little bit of Doom flavoring, right?
Yeah.
Dune, I mean, not Doom.
It's-
Dune
yes,
with an N.
yes.
Also Doom.
and also like
also
Firefly. Firefly.
It's
or,
a fucking soup.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but yeah, the R29 Firebrand type patrol craft is a very clear this is a Fire Spray 31 patrol craft.
Okay.
So does
I should
anyone
watch,
be the one who actually owns the damn ship? Because
The next thing that we're gonna do is customize your
Expect the
ship.
pilot to own the ship now.
Each
I should say I have the highest helm so far.
each
Yeah, go, it's yours.
each ship starts with several pre-selected ship systems that reflect its focus. So you'll see that you already have 2 comms, 1 engines, and 1 weapons. You can choose 2 additional ship systems to improve. Your choices are between engines, hull, comms, and weapons.
Let's go faster. Let's put 1 in engines, I think.
I agree. 1 in engines is awesome.
Okay. It sounds like there's a lot of engines. Any other
Alright.
advice for the next?
It was like, sounds like a
You guys
lot
want to
of...
go fast? I see.
We could put it in engines again.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I think 2 engines is good.
You guys
That's
love to go
fucking based.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, 2 engines.
Now is a good time that I should also say you may instead choose to improve crew quality, but it'll cost your crew 2
No.
cred.
Why do I
we
care
have
about
3?
quality?
Why do we
No.
have 3? No, hold on. Everyone's talking over each other. Why do we have 3 engines now?
We started with 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you started with 1. So crew quality, what that does, a higher crew quality refers to the quality of gear and equipment of the crew. You're able to take on more powerful factions on equal footing and can therefore handle harder jobs more easily, not to mention your crew will just have nicer stuff. That's what that is. But, by the way, I should say, where is the cred on here? It might say 0 on here, but you guys should start with 2. Where is this?
I'll fill it out at 2.
I filled it in.
Oh, you did?
Wait, you see it? Where is
yeah. Okay. So you can spend you could, if you wanted to, instead of those engine upgrades, if you wanted to improve crew quality 1 point instead, you could.
Would it be
I want to
both
start
of the engine
trash.
upgrades for that?
No, this would just be your quality tier, which essentially comes into play with on just all the equipment that you're using.
Yeah, right.
I think let's start at the bottom because it sounds funny.
Start at the bottom.
Would you guys like? I want to know what's the idea behind picking engines? You just guys like to go fast?
Yes.
I don't
like-
think we need that many engines.
It's an us delivery
I
system.
I do agree with Autumn.
Okay.
I don't think
I
we
could be
need-
That's fine.
convinced to have less engine.
And I also
I
ask
could be-
what's your sort of go-to job type of specialization? That's definitely important to think about when you pick these. What sort of things are going to be useful?
Yeah, what are we doing? I think, I sort of figured we might be doing get in, get out sort of missions.
Yeah.
In which
Yeah.
case engines does make sense, but also I think that we should have.
I should also, because I might have missed this, but what does the crew thing specifically do?
It is unfortunately, you don't have a very specific answer because it's very general what it does. Everything in this game sort of has some sort of vague tiers or rankings based on their size or how good of a guild they are. Your crew tier will be how much your equipment stands up to those other crews or things that you interact with. Is your lock picking item better than the doors of this other crew? Are you gonna be at a disadvantage because they're much more technologically advanced?
Yeah, then we
yeah,
should
it's
at
good to
the
have
very
some of that.
least we should at the very least have a little bit in that then.
That's quite good.
Okay, but here's the thing about that one. That this is an all or nothing choice. You can increase the crew only one, and you also go in debt to somebody, or you can choose to save your money and improve your ship systems. So it's either like you improve your engines, comms, hull, or weapons, or none of that and just your crew.
Okay.
And it says, it'll be costly. It'll cost you 2 cred, and you will owe the folks that helped you improve your crew quality. So that's a much steeper
That's a
choice
thing
to do.
we'll work on later then.
Yeah.
Okay.
In part 2 of the one shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you did 1 engines. So if you're not doing both in engines, what do you guys think is the pick for your other point?
I think hull. If we're doing get in, get out things, hull.
Sure. Let's diversify. That's good.
Awesome.
I agree.
It's a good, well-rounded ship. That's good to have. Now, after you decide what you want to improve, so it says that I will tell you about a faction that helped you get these improvements. But we can, if you guys want to just skim here with me, because I could choose one, or you guys can choose one that stands out to you. I'm just going to look through the factions in here. I have this in this factions channel. So we just got to pick one of these that helped you improve this.
I'm not
Who do you
seeing-
guys see
Definitely
yourselves
one
like
that
having
stands out
gone
In
to?
SQ factions and lore in the Discord.
Yeah, this will be in the Discord.
I definitely. There's one that makes sense for my character. So.
Is that Conclave 01?
Yes.
Sure.
Believe it or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that can be up to anyone. Especially
It's
because I know
right here.
Autumn's character is like. Did we establish that Autumn's character is the owner of the ship?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
I think the story is that I've heard of these guys and maybe been in pre-job contact but haven't met them yet.
Okay.
Or that is these guys being
And you're
the
going on,
RPCs.
and you've just been hired on for this job in particular. Is
Yes.
where you're meeting them. Okay. In that case, yeah, maybe, and well, if your 2 characters knew each other, Autumn and Ash, then maybe you would have been like.
I think that'd be. I think
Defer
that'd be
to your-
fun.
defer to
If
your
you're okay with that,
mechanic
Autumn. If
So I'm
maybe
sorry,
you
hold
and
on.
I,
I haven't even seen any of this. I'm still looking through it. I don't know.
but
any of this
Autumn,
stuff.
if maybe your character and my character have like been adventuring together for a minute.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm still figuring out the factions and stuff. I didn't even see this.
No
before.
worries.
So yeah, this will just be who made these improvements to your engine and your hull. So you did have to like hire somebody out to like do this work on your ship, this little maintenance job.
I was thinking. Either Echo Wave Riders.
Okay.
Could we do multiple? Like maybe one improve the hull, one improve the engines?
This will just be one.
Just
Okay,
one.
just one. Okay.
Sorry, I see the new test result in my
Echo
chart.
Wave Riders is interesting. Those guys are fun.
They're pod racers.
That
Yeah.
does sound very funny. I like that.
Okay,
They're just pod racers.
let's make it that
It's
one.
Should we put that in notes?
In that case, well, I will actually let me introduce you guys to. One second.
Info jump scare number 5.
Another jump scare number 5. We got this sheet.
Shit.
So, I'm going to ask you now, they did you a favor. How did your crew respond? You have 3 options. Pay them off, give them 1 cred in exchange for a job well done, no strings attached, nothing owed. Option 2, owe them 1. Promise them you'll return the favor down the line when they ask and gain +1 status with them. So you owe them, but you have you get increased status on the fact that you have a business arrangement with them. Or option 3, stiff them. No need to pay a faction that doesn't demand payment up front. Take -1 status with the faction. So that's entirely up to you guys. You can pay them, try to be friendly with them and owe them 1, or you can fully pull a juke on them.
I'm not against just paying them.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be that, or we owe you 1 would be a thing.
Yeah. I feel like
they could have
I feel like paying them outright would be the best.
Yeah. No strings attached. It's a neutral option. I'll go ahead and mark off your 1 cred. Okay. Now we choose a special ability for your crew. So these are
I like
listed
light
on the
touch. I like snatch grab. I like all of these are pretty good. Deadly's pretty good because some of us are quite violent.
Each crew member may add 1 action rating to command, scrap, or skulk. That could be good.
For the ninja and hoplite warrior in the party.
How do y'all feel about that?
About what? Sorry.
These are
We're looking at the server special abilities.
I'd be fine with that. I'd be
Special
scrolled here.
abilities.
yeah, it's on the right side of the server's sheet,
Okay.
and they're looking at
Also,
deadly
that
right
can-
now.
That can go up. That can pass the initial cap of 2, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So which one was everyone looking at? Sorry, I was looking.
We're looking at deadly, but I'm not
Deadly?
set on it.
I would be down for deadly.
Alright.
But there's also
I'm so sorry I spaced out for like 5 seconds because I got my
No one talked for 5 seconds.
yeah.
What
no,
do
no,
we
We're looking at the special abilities on the
Gosh.
Cerberus, the ship page.
Potency
Okay.
is increased effect, right?
Yes.
For the light touch one.
Yeah.
the special abilities?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm between light touch or deadly, leaning towards light touch.
Deadly looks very versatile, I think.
Deadly does look very versatile, but I'm trying to figure out like how much do we like min-max the gameplay versus like what
What makes sense for our crew?
what makes sense for the because like if we're going on my character owning this ship, this type of ship, and her background,
Then trailing people. for-
trailing is very important.
Yeah.
Or tailing a target is very important. And gathering info, just more like long-term bounty hunting stuff is very
Yeah.
important. That being said, deadly is very nice.
Yeah, I think it's a little more able to fit with other.
I'll say go for the one that you're feeling the most.
I feel
which one
deadly,
excites
that's
you
my
the
vote.
most? Deadly.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in deadly.
Okay. So everybody
Alright,
now can
with that point.
choose command, scrap, or skulk on your personal character sheet. One of them. Each of you choose one. And yes, as Slug said, this can go up to 3 if you'd like.
scrap or scalp?
Command, scrap, or skulk, yeah.
Command, scrap, or scalp. And we can increase them by what?
By one.
By one.
Just one of them. By one. And after you're done with that, everybody take a look at the contacts in the Cerberus sheet. You will choose one of these to be your favorite. We got Stacy Weathers, Ace Reporter, Arlox, and Ashen Knives Pasha. Oh, what the? Why? Arlox and Ashen Knives Pasha. That doesn't make any grammatical sense.
Well, it's like a
Is that a-
pasha,
Yeah,
like a
those-
job.
She's a pasha in the
Ashen
Ashen Knives.
Yeah. Let me look at the.
Do we want to ride around?
You could.
I feel like Jezria Fixer would be nice. Just have like a dedicated like this is
Just
a
have a
person
fixer.
who
Yeah,
fixes
Yeah,
our.
Jetsuit's a stupid name though.
You can change your name
Yeah.
if you'd like.
Fixer is
Change
not.
their name.
Wait, Autumn, what
Get
were you
rid of
saying?
that.
Wait, like, yeah, what were you saying, Ash?
No, what were you saying?
Jezria Fixer.
Yeah, what did you say about Jezria Fixer?
It would be good to have someone that is that not like someone who would like fix the ship?
No,
No, that's
that
someone who
is
gets
a
us
fixer is Mike Breaking
Yeah,
Bad.
they can just
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Fixer is Mike Breaking Bad.
Here,
Okay.
let me read the
Yes.
description here. A fixer, whatever you need, Jezri has. Info, gear, jobs, friends, and enemies. Did Jezri help you?
That
get
would
your
be a
ship
good
or
one.
license?
That would be a very good one.
Jezri would be a good like all arounder. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
thinking Arlox would be nice.
Which their name
Yeah.
be? I don't even know what
yeah,
a pasha is. It's
You're
the
right. I
thing.
think that's a
But
in-universe
Jezri isn't
term.
aligned. Jezri isn't aligned with a specific faction, which I think is better
Yeah.
than Arlox.
Yeah,
So,
What do we want to rename Jezri?
Turkey.
Yes.
Turkey, a fixer.
yeah, rename her
I
Turkey.
got it. Hold on. I got it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
No,
that'll
wait,
work.
wait. Can I?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
that'll
is
work.
great.
Dude. Yes,
Turkey.
dude.
Let's fucking go, dude.
That's amazing. Okay.
This is epic.
This is really flattering. I'm glad I'm your
What if we
favorite.
just treat this
You
character
are
like
our
shit?
like breaking bag.
What if we
not
just are an
And look at the
asshole?
ship.
What if we're just an asshole to this character?
Yeah,
I would
you're
be.
probably going to be.
Aw,
Okay.
Autumn, do you want to
my weird ass
color and
freak
look up
would
your ship?
The GM will tell you about two factions that are impacted by your choice. One faction is also friendly with this contact, and you get +1 status with them. Perhaps they are an informant, retired member of the faction, or just friends with them. I think I will choose these. I think I will. Since you guys made it me, I think I get to choose.
Yeah, you can choose. That's 100% fair.
So, she... Is it a woman, I guess? I always make NPCs women.
I mean, up to
I'm
you.
just
You
ally.
are the DM.
I think it's because like Jezri to me seemed femme, and then now it's Turkey. So the implication
Jezri
of
seemed
this.
feminine, but now it's Turkey.
But you know, I'm thinking Turkey sounds like such a Xeno name.
Right?
I feel like I'm gonna go
Xenobag.
Diranek Gang. It's gonna get +1
You're
status.
that gang. Let's go.
You can go ahead and read that if you'd like. But I
Wait,
remember what it is.
transmasked with the dead name Jezri and the chosen name Turkey.
Yes.
Holy shit, this is big.
I already put it in. Krug.
Oh shit.
Other than that, completely a
It's like that
self-insert
one
for
Boba
Turkey.
Fett
Actually,
guy
you know
shit,
what?
I like
Here's
that.
my idea for the gender of this character. They are like an alien species that is asexual. They produce asexually, so they don't have
Okay.
gender as a concept in
Okay,
their
badass.
society. I've got to come up with some
Non-binary
strange
Turkey
name.
sent.
The aliens, and are they them? What's going on?
They them leave.
Yeah, but what are their
saying that
pronouns?
there's-
Turkey.
One faction is unfriendly with this contact, and you get -1 status with them. There might be old slights, current
Your
grievances,
NPC.
or even materials held against the contact that they are keen to reclaim. I think I'm going to go for this the Ashen Knives. Where
Just like the
Are
pin
your
knives
friendly
from
contact or
My
the
unfriendly
unfriendly
Feathered
contact?
Investigations.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit. He's getting started with it.
He really is.
Ashen
That's that
Knives
one guy
don't
book.
like you.
Ashen
I
knives.
don't like them
okay.
either.
Yeah, they sound too fucking much like
Oh,
the Pale
like you.
Knives.
Your knives need some moisturizer. What's going on?
Okay.
I still have beef.
We're done with character and crew creation.
Oh,
Let's McFucking go.
Session over? What the fuck?
fucking go.
We're done with the session. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Alright, dude, that's next league.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna bring us right into the job right away.
Wait,
So-
are we done with character creation?
Yes.
I didn't choose any equipment or anything.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't need to. In this game,
I don't need to.
In this game, it's more on the fly with the way the equipment works. You don't need to know what you have until you need it.
In the situation,
You can literally,
Okay.
you can literally Schrodinger's gun it.
Yes.
So everything that it says.
Once you say you have something, you have it for the rest of that job.
Yep.
Okay, so everything under items is in my Schrodinger's pocket.
Yes, exactly. What you do pick is your
Okay.
load, which gives you how many choices you get. So you pick a certain amount of items. And the load is about how conspicuous you are, because you're carrying a bunch
Why
of
would
shit.
I not? Oh, so your load affects like
In
how
world, how much
sneaky
shit
you
you're
are.
carrying around. Like, if you're carrying around, like, a bunch of bombs, it's going to be noticed by people.
Okay.
You'll
So
have,
it's
a
how
giant...
32mm cannon.
I'm
on
gonna do
my
5.
It's how thick your
I'm gonna do
trench
5
coat is.
My load.
I went with normal because he said that's like
Unfive.
would be
And
noticeable
yeah, you
on a
guys
search.
can
right?
pick this right now because we are going into a job immediately.
Okay.
Do we have info on
wait
the
a
job
minute.
before we pick?
You can,
Do you mind,
if you'd like.
Turkey? Do you mind waiting like 5 seconds?
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. How do we all get here?
Okay.
I think I took public transit.
Public transit to get to the ship. Just
Yeah, dude.
wherever the hell our illegal ass ship is parked. That's
Wherever
awesome.
we're starting, yeah. This is the first time Tom proposed meeting everyone.
Yep. We're doing
He took the train.
we're like on some like half destroyed planet somewhere, getting an ancient artifact or some shit, and you just show up and it's like, hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
I saw it, dude.
I joined the Discord a week ago.
It's just like, oh yeah, no, I figured I could get you.
It's a bit of a nightmare.
I think what we will play first is you guys getting this job before we
Yeah.
actually go into it. That way I can convey
epic.
the information in character.
This is really fucking intense music.
Yeah. Are you feeling it? You better feel intense.
You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I'm
I
feeling
can
it
feel
now,
it.
Mr. Krabs.
Oh,
Oh, you want to know if I can feel it?
Okay, while we're waiting for Ash, I went to a jazz concert last night. 3 hours into this bullshit, the trumpet is he just makes a noise that sounds like exactly like the boom womp from
holy fuck.
SpongeBob. I looked at my friends and we lost our shit and it was awesome.
Everyone in the concert is like, "What are you laughing at?"
And it was awesome. It's like us and then a bunch of old people.
Did you name your fella?
Yeah, we're going with. Yeah, nope, that makes probably more sense. Yeah, Autumn, your character.
Yeah, Samara Farr. I will put it
that's
in full
badass.
picture.
Prank ass.
Some people would just call her, I guess Sam.
Is she also the Annihilator?
Kind of more towards like.
First not named the Annihilator character?
No, I've had
That's true.
I've had concepts of a plan for a non-annihilator named character.
That was Az. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, min-max.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's like more than... Actually, I would say like 75% of my characters.
Should
That
we
is
start
probably true.
this scene and then have Ash waltz in?
They did ask for 5 seconds, and it's probably been
It's
like
been
a
more
minute
than 5
20.
seconds.
This is true.
Let's do that.
Okay.
We'll all make fun of Ash when she comes back.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
first
yes.
gonna describe. So you guys are on a moon called Warren in the Rin system. It is a moon of the planet where Phi is actually from. It orbits Aleph, a poisonous, tectonically unstable planet. If it weren't for its mineral stores, it would be a planet to avoid. Most of the wealth of it is dug up and heavily taxed by its governor, leading to frequent unrest. But you are not there, actually. You are on the moon of this planet. Warren is, it's one of the many moons of Aleph, and it is, I never know how to pronounce this word when I see it in Stellaris, Ecumenopolis? Ecumenopolis? Anyway,
something like that.
It's a city spanning the entire surface of the moon. It's the capital of the entire system. And the system governor, Ritam al-Miklaith, makes his residence here. On Warren, you can find anything you need for a price. Its high rises are full of legitimate business dealings, and its streets, far less so. You guys are on these bustling streets filled with neon signs, promising foods of all different kinds and different languages, hover cars streaming between towering buildings, the bass beat of basement clubs playing the latest mix, patrons stumbling onto the street singing. And you guys are at a underground criminal bar called the Loch Luna, and you're meeting your contact, a strange-looking avian xeno called Turkey.
I've got a half-eaten burger in my hand. I'm a little bit out of breath, and I'm somehow chewing it without moving my mask.
How the hell?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to. Bus was late. I had to run here, and I got a bit hungry.
You took the bus?
No, I didn't. I had to run.
Oh. You had to run and you got a sandwich?
Yeah, I got hungry.
Very well.
I'd like to, in this is meta speak, but I am in the corner. You wouldn't notice yet, but I am in the corner watching from a slight distance.
Turkey
In
is
the shadows.
sitting alone in one of those sort of like club booths with a table and a semi-restricted section that you are allowed in. You have the wristbands to get in here.
The little neon wristbands that you can't pull off.
Turkey looks exactly like that one avian in Stellaris that's like basically a four-eyed bird-looking thing.
Imagining it right now. This is awesome.
Oh, I see it.
Let me see if I can find, or you can look this up. It's
I found
a
it.
very classic bird. Yeah, exactly that one. That's what Turkey looks like.
Epic.
And sort of in that outfit, very glamorous looking, very plumed feathers just blinking and pecking into some exotic looking martini glass with some alien drink in it.
Big guy, do you think that's turkey?
Yes, I believe it is.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna finish my burger in like a second. Somehow without removing my face mask.
Licking your fingers clean without removing your face mask.
I'm gonna slowly walk over and sit down next to Turkey.
I also do that.
Looks like they're busy though. Should we wait?
I'm gonna look over and kind of gesture for you to like.
Oh no, that's the crew. I walk up.
I um I look Krog's character like directly in the eyes and just I just blink slowly, and then
I give
yeah,
you
I
finger
call
guns
over-
because I can't read alien faces and I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, no, reasonable. I crawl over slightly weird like, and again I take a seat on the end.
Excuse me, coming through. All right.
Turkey says, "Is this the whole crew?"
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think so.
It
All right.
appears to be.
Well, I picked this spot because this is a sensitive matter, alright? As you know, the Ashen Knives don't really like me. I don't like them much either. Now, I think I have found somewhat of a liability within the Ashen Knives. Now, they're too big for me to go after their whole guild, but I think that if we isolate this singular individual, then perhaps we can figure out why they're a weakness of theirs. See, I found somewhat of a defector. I don't know much about them, but their name is Cho T-Rek. They were a muscle, kind of like yourself. Looks over at Samara.
Well,
But they
doesn't intimidate me none.
and
If
the
you
Ashen
live through the
Knives.
interaction, I can assure you they're nothing like myself.
Well, they're some kind of assassin. As you know, the Ashen Knives are sort of a bounty hunting or assassin organization. And,
Only an assassin.
well, they didn't do a job completely for them. Apparently, they were supposed to kill some Urbot, but instead they just ran away with them. Not sure why.
That's above the table. That is that's what O2C5 is, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of glance over halfway at O2C5.
That'd be
I'm gonna
I'm
try
sure
to
the last thing
discreetly.
you said, Turkey.
Were we briefed before this on what the objective was?
No, this is the briefing.
This is the meeting. This is the
Okay.
brief.
So they are they're
It's so
in,
brief, it's underpants.
they're in some hotel here in Warren. It's called Paradise. I want you guys to track them down, capture them alive, and figure out why they didn't complete their job for the Ashen Knives, because maybe we can use it against them somehow.
And how important is keeping this Urbot alive? Specifically.
I think it's probably crucial because there's got to be some reason that they didn't kill them. They were sent by the Ashen Knives to assassinate this Urbot, but for some reason or another, they decided against it and went on the run. Now the Ashen Knives are looking for them, and I'm also looking for them because I don't want them to find this defector first. Maybe we can figure out why they want this defector back.
Seems simple enough.
Do we know what?
You
we
say you
know if
want
they
them
are armed?
alive. Sorry, go.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, you're good. Do we know if they are armed?
Likely. But who's to say? I mean, they're hiding out in a hotel. I don't know how much gear they'll have on them. I haven't done any scouting myself because I'm not the type to do that. crew like yours is who I pay to do something like that.
Yeah, I gotta say, you hired the right guy.
Good.
Scouting,
You
retrieval,
You say you want
discretion.
them. You say you want them alive, but I notice you didn't note a preference for how many limbs you would like them to still have attached.
You have a strange definition of alive.
I don't care how many limbs they have attached. Them or their Urbot. But I just want to know if we can get some information out of them. And so they will need to have their tongue, or whatever equivalent they have, to speak.
Just kind of like half ignoring what Turkey says to look at Fi and kind of say,
Take a look around this bar. You'll see many individuals missing limbs, yet they are still alive.
I specifically raised my lower right arm. It's fully prosthetic. And I will respond, yes, but it is a shame to waste such. So I'm trying to not just say biomass. Yeah.
I was like,
Such-
such.
Such artistry.
Right.
Still matters not.
I don't think we need to cut off any limbs. I mean, we could.
I am happy to reattach them.
How about this? I'll sever the limbs, you attach them.
So the above the table, just as a refresher, they were sent to kill an Urbot by the Ashen Knives, but they didn't kill the Urbot.
Yes.
Yes.
They captured it and then ran off with it.
Exactly.
They eloped.
And you guys have -1 status with the Ashen Knives, so that's a group that doesn't like you. Specifically because you associated with Turkey, who's now asking you to do something that is related to them.
Directly harmful, the Ashen Knives.
Or maybe
Well,
even
indirectly
indirectly
harmful.
harmful, yeah.
Yeah.
It's unclear.
If Turkey wants us to bring harm to the Ashen Knives, it would be best not to injure these people. If these people are now enemies of the Ashen Knives, it would be best for our client to leave them unharmed and in good shape.
You have a point.
You raise a fine point, my metallic friend.
And since I'm on the case, they don't even know what hit them before we even get a chance to cut their limbs off.
Yes, generally, one does not know what hit them before their limbs are cut off.
I mean, no, I mean I can, like, sneak up and choke them out without having to
During
cut off their arms.
amputation.
Yes, generally this occurs before their limbs are cut off.
We can just, like, cuff them up or use some rope or something after. We don't have to cut them off. But we can? If that's what you're into, I mean...
I've made it clear that I am not into that for this specific mission.
Alright, well, that's one.
Okay, so now that we have that in a more narrative way, that's better than me just telling you what the job is going to be. Now here's something that's going to happen that is very different from like Dungeons and Dragons or many other tabletop role-playing games. In Forged in the Dark games, in Dungeons and Dragons, you might like be going like, okay, we're going to do a dungeon crawl, so we should plan our approach and like plan out what we're going to do, how we're going to go in there, what we're going to bring. In Forged in the Dark, you do none of this. You jump right into an action scene, or at least a stealth scene, or something with more risk to it. You jump right into the in media res of the job. What you do normally is you roll an engagement roll, but for this starting scenario, it sort of just recommends that I do like a risky one. Normally I'd roll like a couple die and see if I get a 1 through 3 is a desperate situation that you would start in. 4 or 5 would be a risky, which is just like a sort of normal-ish. I mean, like every job is going to have some risk, so it'll be like sort of a very like average situation. Whereas, and 6 would be a controlled position, meaning that you are, whatever you're setting out to do, you're like you've bypassed the initial issues with the job and are into like the more deep challenges of the job itself. So, but for this, instead of rolling an engagement roll, we're just going to act like I rolled a 4 or 5, essentially. You also now, this is when you now can choose your load. Each of you can choose different loads if you'd like, or the same. And it's going to be light, normal, or heavy on your character sheet. The number there is how many items you'll be able to click during the course of this job. The other parameter of that is like if it's light, it's hard to find this stuff on your person if someone's to search you. Normal, by looking at you, they wouldn't be able to tell that you're holding stuff, but if you like opened up your coat, there'd be like some shit in there. And heavy is like you're carrying like bags of stuff around and it's very conspicuous.
Okay.
I'm gonna go light for now.
I'm gonna go normal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go normal for now.
You also get to choose a plan, right?
Also gotta
Yes.
go normal.
You get to choose. Sure. Yeah. You guys can do a. There are another. You get to choose a detail, I believe. Let me.
I think we infiltrate. The infiltration.
Let me actually find the job chapter here.
It's here on the playbooks. I'm looking at them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
it
be
is.
on the playbooks too.
Infiltration, I think, makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it would be funny if you like checked in at the hotel.
Okay. Infiltration.
I think,
And
I
the
think
detail
infiltration
is
probably-
that you're just checking into the hotel. So what a detail means is like you get to choose one aspect of the scenario you're going into, and that's fully up to you
Okay.
guys to choose what that is. But that's the only parameters you control. Like again, like you choose like one detail, and then we just jump right into action. No planning involved, because and the reason for that is the core mechanic of this game is the stress and the flashback system, where you spend stress to literally flashback in a moment to a retroactive plan that was in place for the exact scenario that you're in, because your characters are smarter than us in real life and anticipate everything that happens during the job.
It's like a heist movie.
Exactly. You flash back in it Ocean's 11's into another scene where you had exactly the right thing prepared for that scenario. Maybe you talked to the guard beforehand, or you set up someone to come out and yell as a distraction, or whatever you can even think of. It can be a small thing, like, oh, I just had a pen in my pocket, and that could be a zero stress flashback. But if it's a really complicated, convoluted thing, I might have you make some rolls to see how good it is, or just make it a really expensive stress flashback. I might make it a 3 stress for the flashback if it's a really hefty one. Yeah, I finally found the chapter as I've been rambling. So, yeah, assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, or transport.
I think we infiltrate and like just check in under fake names.
That could also be deception, lure, trick, or manipulate.
Well, that's just more a precaution. It's not the crux, I think. Having
Do we know? Does this person know that we're after him? Necessarily.
It's unclear. You know is what Turkey described to you, that they are Ashen Knives on the run. You know that the Ashen Knives don't like you and Turkey, specifically because you like Turkey. they don't like you.
Yeah.
You don't know if that means that they will assume that you're being hired to find this person. I don't know. That's unclear.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think if we were to, check in under fake names, that would be deception. Infiltration would be like sneaking onto a nearby rooftop and breaking into the room.
That does make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm cool with deception.
We'll say deception. So now the detail.
Most
When you
cool with
choose a
deception.
plan, provide the key detail, like the point of attack, social connection, etc. If you don't know the detail, you can gather information and ask questions in order to discover it. The main reason for this is to give the GM a jumping off point for your plan. If you want to infiltrate the governor's mansion, that's fine, but tell the GM the point of entry so that they know how to set the first scene. If you're planning on deceiving someone, tell the GM what the deception is, which you guys said you're checking into the hotel. So
Yes.
that's the detail for you guys? Okay. Item loadouts. After the plan and the detail are in place, you can choose your item loadouts. So now you guys choose light, normal, or heavy. No one wants to change that? Just
I
making
think
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
happy with
Yeah,
that.
I'll set it up.
Okay,
Okay.
I've got
Now,
my setup.
now we do something called gambits, which is a specifically Scum and Villainy thing. So this is kind of new to me, but where is this on this sheet here? I'm not seeing it on the Cerberus sheet. Am I blind? Gambit. I know I saw it on here at some point.
Oh, I found him.
Where is it?
It's like half cut off, but it's below engines.
Yeah, okay. It's not cut off for me. That's weird. Maybe it depends on how
That's interesting.
scrolled your.
No, but all right. We have one. We were set to one gambit, and we get another because I'm a scoundrel. Was that it?
Yeah, right. What does your scoundrel thing say?
Yeah, you get +1 gambit at the start of a job.
Yeah, so then you get 2. So what those are
Yeah.
is anyone can spend one of those to add 1 die to any roll. It's just like a sort of inspiration-esque resource. You know what? Fuck it. I am going to do an engagement roll. Even though the game says that for the starting scenario that you shouldn't, I'm going to fucking do it because it's fun.
Hell yeah.
So you guys can get familiar with this. So I am going to choose, think about major advantages or disadvantages. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? No, it's not bold or daring. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability or hit them where they're weakest? I'm going to say...
Possibly. I mean, they don't really know who we are.
I'm going to say no for this and not explain myself, because I know things you don't.
Oh, you bird bastard.
Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? No. I'm going to say no to that as well. So it's just no added, no taking away. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I'm going to say yes, because Turkey had a lot of details for you on this. So you
They're
know
a
a
good
lot of the
fixer.
lore behind this operation. So you get an extra dice for that. Are there any other elements that you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target will give you +1d. Maybe a higher tier target will give you -1d. Maybe there's a situation in the system that makes the operation more or less tricky. I'm going to say I'm going to take one away for a reason that I'm not going to explain, because I have a secret. So you get
Yeah, this.
you get 1 by default, and I added none, and I took away. I added 1, and I took away 1. So you still have 1 die. I'm rolling it right now in front of my. You can't hear it, but it's in front of my mic. So 1 through 3 is a desperate starting situation. 4 or 5 is a risky, which means you'll just be checking in. You'll be going up to the front desk. And 6 is a controlled situation, meaning, and I'll say that means that you've already checked into a hotel room and you're in your hotel room in Paradise. And you know which room is Cho's. you know them. So that's what you're shooting for. So let's see what this is. That's a 3. So that's a desperate situation.
This is fun.
Oh.
That works out because actually, the way that the starting situation reads in the book is very desperate. So, yeah. Okay.
We walk in, it's like a hotel of ashen knives.
We just
Yeah, the guys that are on the run from the Ashen Knives are in the Ashen Knives owned hotel.
this is a
elaborate setup.
we like walk in to the lobby and it's like Ashen Knives like meet and greet in the lobby.
Just like everyone stops talking in turns. Oh, this is a Marriott Bonvoy, sorry.
Oh, shit, sorry, guys.
You're in the hallway of the second.
Sorry, we meant the next hotel over.
You're in the hallway of the second floor of a rundown hotel that the neon sign out front proclaims as Paradise.
Well, guys, I think that went really smoothly.
That sweet prize money is about to be yours. That Turkey didn't even clarify how much cred you would be getting from this, because they're that sneaky. As you prepare to kick the door.
Oh, we probably should have asked.
As you prepare to kick.
Fine.
So we're just in this now. It's a very weird thing to get used to, but in this system, it's like cut immediately to some. It's either something happening, some shit happening, or maybe even like a lot of ground you've already covered in a skipped period of time, which is either way, it's a lot more fun and actiony that way.
It's cool.
But it is tough to get used to. But anyway, as I say, as you prepare to kick down the door to Cho's room, you hear the roar of a hoverbike engine starting up in an alley behind the hotel. Heavy blaster fire begins ripping through the hallway, shredding the plaster and moving quickly towards where you're standing. You can see through the window. It matches the description. Cho Tyrek on a souped-up hoverbike, a tiny figure clutched to his back. And now I will literally just ask you. There's blaster fire firing at you. You see them shooting up through the window of this hotel room at you as you're trying to kick down their door, but you see them already out on the street on this hoverbike. And I'll ask you, what do you do? And I'll quickly remind you things you can do. An action roll. You can do some sort of action, which would be rolling one of your action, and it would be rolling amount of dice, and it would describe how you're using that action and what you're doing. Or you could even right now say, hold the phones, Turkey, and flashback to something that you did to prepare for the situation.
I was gonna say
I shoved drugs on the seat of his hover bike, and he's been stabbed by hypodermic needles.
No, I did have an idea the second I heard about the hover bike, and it's because of an old GTA 3 mission from back in the day. So my plan was to flashback to, because I brought a detonator with me, to flashback to leaving a detonator on his hover bike that was set up to explode when he turned the engine on.
He's going to fucking die.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to stitch all of them together.
Do you have let's look at your items here. Is there any sort of bombs on here that you could possibly use?
I do have a detonator.
A detonator, okay. Let me read the description on what this says.
The detonator is like a It's like a thermal detonator from Star Wars.
Okay.
So like a grenade, basically. I guess we're trying to keep them alive. So maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah. Would you like to do that? Because it could just kill them. But it could also just blow up their bike. So that's kind of.
I am imagining.
Would we have
Life
known it was
is-
his?
Yeah. See, that's a good question.
Yeah, I was imagining. If this is a hover bike, I was imagining like the Star Wars style ones where it's like got the front thing, the really long front stick thing.
I'll say you could do it. Here's the thing:
sticking it on there.
you might know if it's their bike, but I'll ask you for some sort of action roll to try to figure out in this flashback and try to figure out which bike is there, because there's actually multiple hover bikes out front of this Paradise, the hotel. And also here's another quirk of the system that I actually really like, and is more of a tough thing for me as a GM, is that I am sort of like, it's a faux pas for me to tell you what action to roll. You need to tell me what action you would like to use and how you're using it. I can tell you, hey, that's stupid, I'm going to give you low effect, all I want, but I should never be like, I should never be like, oh, roll a perception check, like you do in, like, GMs like constantly are saying, roll an attack roll this. I should never say that. I can say make an action roll, but I can't tell you what to do. So I would like you to make some sort of action roll to figure out which bike is chose in this flashback.
I would like to use Skulk.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that's like. I can't remember exactly what that one is.
It's the stealth one.
Yeah, it's the stealth one, I imagine. But yeah, I'm gonna use Skulk. What die do I?
Yeah. So the way that die rolls in this game work is, so you have your Skulk skill. How many dots do you have in that?
I have 1.
Okay. So you will be rolling 1d6. The amount of dots is how many d6s you roll, and you're going to be looking for, in any pool of dice that you're rolling of d6s, you're looking for the highest die of any of them. And there's no difficulty classes in this. And I'll ask you for this first roll to actually just click the on your character sheet where it says Skulk, just click the word Skulk. And it should have a little pop-up for you.
Okay.
This is something weird.
It says risky, controlled, or desperate.
Yes. So this is the position. And position in this game is what the consequences of failure for this is. I'm going to say risky. And I'll lay out what that means for you. Risky meaning you can figure out which... If this fails, you might get somebody else's bike. You might misinterpret what they're doing. You might be like skulking around looking at them and misinterpret which bike is theirs. And that could just be a boner for you.
Boner, dude. Boner.
But and then so insert risky and then click like next or whatever it says to do.
Okay.
And now it'll say effect, right?
Yeah, standard, limited, great, or extreme.
I'm gonna say great effect. That meaning their bike will explode if you get the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And
now
then the next
go ahead
one
and-
just says bonus dice.
You don't have any bonus dice on this unless you want to add one of your 2 gambits to this.
What are we thinking?
And you can only add 1 gambit at a time per roll. By the
For
way.
what it's worth, this does seem like a pretty all-in baller move.
Yeah, should I add both?
You can only
I
have one
only have
gambit.
one.
Oh, I can only have 1. Okay, so just add 1
I'm
bonus.
okay with it.
Add 1
I'm okay
bonus
with it.
d6 and then
Okay.
take 1 off of the Cerberus.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then that resets to 2 at the start of every job, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Okay.
So.
There's a few other ways to get bonus die, right?
Oh, it rolled for me. I was gonna roll with
Yeah.
my physical actual dice in person.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can roll on your physical dice going forward, but I just wanted to show you that that for every roll in this game, every action roll, I should say, you need to know the position and effect before you roll. In Dungeons and Dragons, it's very easy to be like, oh, I roll a perception check. Or even before the DM even is finished speaking, you're like, I rolled a persuasion check. But in this, you need to know what the position and effect is before you roll, because it's important for how the fiction of the world develops. And also, you can affect the position and effect in certain ways. You can push your rolls for greater effect. You can, your abilities might have better effect. So it's important to know what it is. So you rolled a 5 is the highest die on here, which means a mixed result. So I'm going to say you get the right bike, and and I'm going to have you tick off on your character sheet. This is only a 1 stress flashback for you, but you will mark 1 stress. You get the right bike.
Detonator from my.
Yeah, and then click detonator. You've used that.
Yeah.
You get the right bike. Where you go back to the present moment. You see, you hear, they fly from the bike down below. But you see, since this is a success with a consequence, is what it's called in Fortune in the Dark. The consequence of this is you see. You hear down the street, some space cops are rolling up to the situation after seeing the explosion and start chasing Cho down the street. Some cops got involved in this job, and now they're chasing Cho.
Wow, okay. And Tom
You're on the second floor. What do you do next?
I jump out the window.
Okay.
I'm also going to follow him. I'd like to try to climb down the side of the building.
Yeah, I would like some sort of action to jump how you're getting out of this window.
Okay.
I can scramble.
I'd like to scramble. I'd like to use my alien forearmsness to climb down the side of the building.
Sure.
I would
I
like
just,
to. Oh, sorry. Go.
I just roll, like hit the ground and roll, because I am that man. I am that bitch.
There's something you can
Second
also
story.
do that I will offer to you. You can all individually roll if you'd like, but there's also something you can do called leading a group action, which means you will all roll the same action, but one of you will lead. Likely whoever has the best. Anyone who. Let me make sure I get this right, because in the podcast I listened to, they got this wrong like 8 times. But I think it's on the cheat sheet in our Discord. Let me see if I can. It's leading a group action. Lead a group action. Each player who participates rolls for their character. It'll be the same action every roll. That's what it says in the book. The best single roll counts as the action result, which applies to every character that rolled, and the person who led will take 1 stress for every 1 to 3 result, including your own. So if you'd all like to use the same action right now and all get out of the window safely, you can do that, or you can roll individually.
I do have something else I could do that I think will succeed.
Okay.
I could like peel off and use Skulk to try to like go down a side route that could stealthily intercept.
Sure. So are you going down you're on the second story, you're going to like run down the stairs and then go out into an alleyway?
Something like that, like to find a fire escape, start doing some alley running.
Sure, yeah, you could do that. You said you were going to use Skulk for that?
Yes.
Okay. That will be controlled position for standard effect. You'll be somewhere in an alleyway
Position
nearby.
controlled. Effect standard. Bonus dice. I don't have bonus dice.
Actually,
but
I'm
it
gonna say
should be still
risky.
rolled.
I'm gonna say risky.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
Oh man.
I did say
Kill myself.
risky the second before you rolled, and the reason that it's risky is I'm going to start a clock here, and a clock is something in the system which is just a really clever thing. Let me see if I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How
Yes,
smelly is the dumpster I land in? At first.
You said you were going like down an alleyway, down a fire escape. You're not just like jumping out the window or climbing down. So what this does, the consequence of this is it takes you some time to do this, precious time out of this job. And I'm starting
Damn.
a clock here, and that this clock is for show escapes. Simply, show escapes. You don't. Don't write. I need to write beneath that, so I'm gonna have to delete this.
Okay. It is pizza time though.
Show escape.
I have another idea.
But you are now in an alleyway. But I will
Cannot
also tick
fucking
on this clock.
believe that legendary botch.
I have an idea. How about we steal some bikes?
You can do that.
I'm gonna use Helm to steal some bikes.
Okay. Yeah, so you're using Helm to just like hotwire one of these bikes, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, I'm using Helm to hotwire the fastest looking speeder bike I can find.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, how are you getting down to the parking lot?
This is second story, right?
Yes, and your crew member that you just hired just bolted down a fire escape.
You hear clanging and then ow fuck.
I will. You know what? I'll try the same thing. I'll try Skulk. Except I'm gonna try and. Is there any like piping on the outside I can kind of slide down like a firefighter?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say that this is a risky for standard effect. You get down there in no second. It'll just take more. You won't take any damage or anything. It'll just take more time if you.
And it's no bonus dice, right?
No bonuses for this unless you want to spend your other gambit on this. But
No. Fucking hell, man!
okay, I'm just gonna tick one more on this clock.
Okay, but now I am down there.
Yes, you're now down in the parking lot.
As I
Everyone
hear
else.
the slow like squeaking on the pole sound effect, I'm like pulling
Exactly.
myself out of a trash
What
can.
what is Fi doing in this situation?
Okay. Fi has seen yet a second person, like somewhat clumsily, make their way down the side of the building. They are going to go ahead, open up the window and just climb down the side of it.
Okay.
And sorry, how do you pull up the macro?
You click on which skill you're using for that.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's sick. And
Now I'll be
Turkey
scrambling.
And Turkey can't tell you what skill to use for it. He will
Yes.
judge how effective
Yeah.
it is based on which skill
I'm
you choose.
gonna go scramble.
Okay. This will be risky for standard effect. It'll just take time away from you guys if you fail this.
Okay. Risky for standard. No bonus dice. Alright,
Oh
that's
my god, it's much better.
Okay. You
well, I'm the climber, what can I say?
you're the climber. You get down there. You waste no more time.
That's a good ass fucking manga.
What is OTC5 doing?
So we're all scrambling down the side of the building.
Yes.
More or less.
And you guys opted to go individually, I'll say.
We opted to go individually.
It's not a
I'm
bad
going to
thing to
say-
do. It's basically just which resource are you using? Right now you're
I
using
was
time
planning
instead of stress.
to split off and like pincer attack, and then everyone just started going the way I went.
Well, you're actually, I'll say, since you specifically said you're going in an alley to try to cut them off, essentially, is what you're
Yes.
doing. So that's a little different from, they're going like straight into the parking lot right now. I
Yeah.
believe, right?
Yeah, to steal the bikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plan is
I'm going
I was
down
coming
the-
down over to the parking lot.
Pincer maneuver. If we're doing the pincer maneuver type of thing, I'm going to follow Grog. But is there in this list of tools what would spy gear denote? What would that? Because I can just say that I have one of these.
Yeah. Spy gear will have some stuff in it specifically. Let me look at this. I'll give
Will
you
it
a-
have anything? Oh, okay, sick.
So it'll say what it roughly has in here. Mechanic items.
That's not what I'm looking for. Is there anything?
Oh, spy gears here. Disguises, voice
Uh,
modulators, mini cameras, thermal scanners, false thumbprints, and audio
Yeah, I
filters.
think Ash was thinking maybe like a rappel or something like that.
I'm thinking of a rappel. That's what I'm hoping for. But it doesn't look like that's
Maybe there's.
an option.
You might have something.
exactly what I was thinking of, yo.
Hmm. Spy gear, disguises, voice modulator, yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
It's weird. Maybe it's like something really basic that you can just. It
Um,
did say like in the sheet.
Oh,
that it
in
was a
pilot
tool
there's a
sheet.
grappling hook, but you have to be a
Oh.
pilot for that.
Yes. You could.
Yeah,
you could.
actually,
I'll say
uh,
what you could do is you
repel.
could spend one stress to have a very simple flashback where you brought a repel,
real.
I'd like to do that.
and you won't have to. This won't count for load. It's just like a very simple because it's just like a little hook and a rope. So just
Alright,
spend a stress.
Yeah, let me figure out. Alright, cool. One stress, you said?
Yeah. And you use that, and that will allow you to get down no problem.
The
Alright,
robots with me.
sick. I do that. And I'm with you.
Two.
So you
And
guys
as I
are.
resolved, I've got an idea.
Mhm.
I'm gonna mark off hacking tools, and as I start running, I'm gonna like fiddle with something like an earpiece and see if I can get into the police frequencies to better track them as I'm trying to cut them off.
Awesome. Go. What action would you like to use for that?
I do have a dot and hack,
Okay.
so I assume that's
Yeah.
gonna be it.
You can go ahead and do it. Hack. That'll be controlled for standard effect. You'll get into their frequency.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's do it.
Okay.
Trace.
Since it's controlled, there's not any major consequence to this, but you just realize they're on some sort of encrypted frequency that they're speaking on.
Of a gun.
I in the meantime am going to use Helm to hotwire a bike.
Yes, go for it. That'll be risky for standard effect. Okay, standard effect in this instance means you hotwire one bike. Now, so here's an example of why effect can matter. So we'll look at rules reference sheet number 1. There are things you can do. You can push yourself, which can give you 1 dice if you take 2 stress. Or instead of 1 dice, you can push yourself for greater effect. Or there's an option, instead of pushing yourself, you can ask for a devil's bargain, which means I give you a choice, like some sort of negative consequence or something. And if you accept that, you can have greater effect or 1 extra dice. So get great effect in this instance would mean you hotwire like as many bikes as you want in this parking lot. Standard is just 1 singular bike.
Okay, I think I'm gonna try and. You said I can take 2 stress for a great effect.
Yes, that would be called pushing yourself for greater effect. You can
Okay,
also
I'm
push
gonna do
yourself for an
that.
extra dice. So that would just be spending 2 dice for an extra dice, or spending 2 stress for an extra die. But you're opting to do it for increased effect. Does that make sense? Okay.
So that I can hire a bike, a hotwire bike for Fi as well.
So this is now risky for great effect. Risky meaning you'll waste a lot of time, and a great effect meaning if you succeed, you will hotwire as many bikes as you want.
Okay, and no bonus dice again.
Unless you spend a gambit. You have 1 left.
What are we thinking?
We'd be burning through them pretty fast, I think.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think
it's
probably
the
no.
same.
Yeah. All right.
Whoa.
Okay.
There
Great
you go.
effect. You 3 to
Sick.
4 bikes. You just hotwire.
Question about the bikes. Are they just like seats 1, or can 2 people reasonably get on 1 bike?
It'll
I
be.
didn't. Oh, sorry. Go.
It's like a motorcycle essentially. So you could squeeze 2 people on one.
All right.
It's a little more dangerous to have 2 people on a bike.
This makes sense.
It's a
Are you asking
hovering
for like the
bike.
size of your character? Because I don't think that matters for this.
It probably shouldn't matter very much now. I'll get on. I'm happy to get on a bike.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will just start screeching after him on a bike.
You start screeching after him. You see that he is going to. I'm going to make a fortune roll for him. This will just be. He will just get 1 die on this. He's going to try to Grand Theft Auto somebody else's vehicle right now. This will be desperate for. Well, he's got some amount of distance. He got the jump on all of you. You were some distance away. There's a little distance in time that has been taken, so it'll not be desperate yet. It'll be
risky.
It'll be risky for risky for great effect. Him just stealing somebody's vehicle, pushing them out, Grand Theft Auto style. He'll get some sort of like hover car out of this. 1 dice. Let's go. That's a 6. Hey, this is my car. Some Xeno just pushed out of the car, hovers off the ground and speeds off. You see the cops go woo, and start chasing after them. You're on your hover bike and chasing after. So now there's cops with their sirens in front of you, and then in front of them, Cho on a hover car that they just stole.
Do I still have those hacking tools to use?
Yes. As long as it's not like a bomb, it doesn't go. It's not expended.
Okay. I want to get out of the alleyway. I'm gonna switch my focus, and instead, I would like to see if I can not jack in, but disrupt their frequency and see if I can slow down the police. Because I imagine them catching Cho will count as him escaping, because he will be out of our grasp.
Okay. So you're just trying to disrupt their communications.
Yes.
Okay. This will be risky for great effect. If you jam their frequencies, that'll really throw a wrench in there.
All right. I'm gonna push on this. How many stress is that?
2 stress to push.
2 stress to push. I'll do it. People have been stressing. Hack, risky, great, and 1 bonus die. Yo.
Okay. That's success with a consequence. The consequence in here is actually not time. You see one of the cops is lingering, and they hear, "There's a jammer! Somebody's got a jammer!" They look over to their side and see you typing away frantically with sweating, and start chasing after you. They're jamming our frequency! You see, I'm going to roll for how many are in the squad right here. There's 2 in the squad, just 2 buddy cops. One of them is a Xeno with some weird, like, tentacle mouth mustache. The other one is just a human guy, very stereotypical cop with sunglasses.
Okay. I'm gonna say under my breath, exactly as planned.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
So, I'd like. So I'm gonna tick off recognizable medic garb.
Okay.
Just trust me here. Just trust me here.
He's cooking.
He's cooking. Let him cook.
Is it a flashback to have always had that on underneath my cloak?
No. I'm going to say no. If you're taking it off the item, that's you, like, shedding your overcoat, and it's under there.
Yeah. So I shed my overcoat, and I'm going to pull up to the cops. And I'm going to say... I'm going to attempt to say, anyways, the comms, they are jammed. There is a medical emergency nearby. We need more bodies on hand. I cannot get there. I cannot. The traffic, it is too dense. And I'm going to try to convince at least a few of the cops to clear traffic towards a supposed nearby medical emergency, which I may or may not be making up. I'm going to
action roll for this, please. For sure.
I'm going to push myself to use my. I'm not a doc. I'm a doctor, not a whatever. In this case,
liar.
Yeah, I'm a doctor, not a liar. But I did have this one patient, and he was the most skilled liar I've ever seen. He convinced
one
me
patient he was the best liar I've ever seen, folks.
Best liar I've ever seen. He convinced me that he had a terminal illness. There was nothing wrong with him. I inspected every single one of his organs, internal. He was fine. He was fine.
Oh, I see. So you're using doctor for something else?
I'm going to use doctor for... Hold on, let me...
It's Sway, I think, is lying. Or...
I think so. I'm just going to double check that's what I'm looking for.
It should be, the descriptions of them are...
Yeah, I'm going to go Sway.
Yeah.
I'll be right back in just a second.
Okay, I'm going to say that this is... Now, this is going to be our first desperate action. So, first of all, in your... the wording of this is interesting. I think it'll be in Sway. You're gonna roll, or you're you see above resolve where those rectangles are that you were talking about before. You can mark one of those rectangles in resolve because you're using your doctor rating to do Sway, and since you're rolling a desperate action, you get an XP for that.
Okay, this is epic.
In the resolve category. So you're rolling desperate for great effect. You'll fully ruse these cops into going after something that doesn't exist.
This could only go well. For what effect?
For great effect.
All right. I would never need bonus dice, right, guys?
You do get one bonus dice because with your ability, you're pushing yourself to do your ability, but you also get a bonus dice for pushing yourself.
Oh, really?
Pushing yourself is either you get plus one dice or greater effect. In this case, it can't go up from great effect. Actually, it could go up to a critical, technically.
I'll just take the bonus dice. I quite like that. Okay. We got the 5.
A 5. They say.
Gulp.
They say. Come with us then. Well, let's go check it out together. Success with a consequence. That the consequence is the cops want you to come with as a doctor.
Okay. In that case, I am going
Show
to
us directly yourself.
Yes, me directly myself.
That's the smartest thing to do.
I'm going to pull in front of their cars, and I would like to start driving down off a street just in a complete other direction from where what's their face is, from where Chotyrek is.
Okay, I'm gonna start a clock for you now. It's gonna be a short clock, and you're already gonna, because you failed a roll that was desperate, it's already gonna have a tick mark
This
off
must
of
have
it.
been the wind clock.
This is cops
They realize I'm the random
realize
guy.
you lied.
I realize that this random medic is in fact a criminal liar.
And it's a 4-segment clock,
Oh, and it's already starting partially filled?
and it's already starting one filled because you failed one roll on it.
Okay, well, but I'm leading them in another direction.
Whoops.
Ops realize Philly.
Feely, I
Feely.
lied. There we go.
I feel like...
Now we're gonna cut to we'll cut to on the motorcycle. What's your character's name again? Samara.
Samara.
Yes. You're now, so you see behind you, your whole crew is tied up in some shit, with a couple of cops peel off, but in front of you, the majority of the cops are chasing Cho, and you're right behind them. What would you like to do?
Down to me as usual.
I am going to. Let's see. What would. I'm trying to think of a good action for scanning for alternate routes and trying to guess where this motherfucker's going.
Yeah,
shoot.
there's some descriptions of what the actions are, sort of generally in rules reference 1.
For some reason that one's not popping up for me when I click it.
It's also in the Discord as well, in the rules.
Yeah.
Looks like study. I mean,
Where is it? There it is. I wouldn't say study. I would say probably. Helm. Honestly, just looking at it includes escape a chasing ship, but
Yeah.
I would imagine
You can use
chase an
Helm again.
escaping ship would. Yeah, I'm gonna use Helm again. Which is good because I.
And again, describe what specifically you're doing again here.
So I'm trying to look at the available routes in front of this guy, and try to ascertain a shortcut basically to try and cut him off.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. I think this will just be this will be risky, meaning more ticks on the clock of Cho escapes if you fail. For standard effect, you will find a shortcut and you will use it to get in front of Cho. Now you're still going to be in this police chase situation, obviously, so it won't be over at that point, but you will be able to cut them off. So that'll be risky for standard effect.
All right, let's go, dude.
You pull in front of Cho. What do you? So you go down a side street and over a sidewalk, and you're in a hover bike, so it doesn't there's not even bumpy. It's just through an alleyway, and you come out in front of Cho, and you see them careening towards you. You're coming from a side alley. What is your next move here?
I'm going to pull up alongside him, and use my my shield to smash the passenger side window.
Okay.
Actually, no, sorry, not the passenger side, the driver's side window.
Okay. Yeah. This will be. Well, first, what action are you going to be using for this?
It's tough because I'm like flying up alongside him, so my instinct wants to say helm again, but I also kind of want to say scrap.
Scrap makes sense too.
I think I'm gonna go with scrap just to mix it up.
Yeah. This will be okay. This one will be desperate because this is a high-speed police chase now. You're coming out from a side alley on a hover bike, and you're slamming into their window. What is your goal for this as well? Is it just to like crash?
Oh, I should clarify. I'm not crashing into it. I'm pulling up alongside it, and then like while I'm riding alongside it, like hitting it with my shield with my arm.
Okay.
I'm not crashing into it.
And is your goal to what is your goal with the damage? Is it to what is it? What is your goal with it?
To either then knock him out at the driver's wheel and jump in, or to pull him out.
Which would you prefer? Would you like to like pull him out, and you're essentially just trying to grab him and put him on your bike, or would you rather get inside his vehicle, maybe?
I'm gonna get inside his vehicle.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So this will be desperate because
yes.
This action, if you fail at any part of this, you'll fall off your moving vehicle and into traffic, which will be incredibly dangerous. So first of all, we got to get a habit of so for a desperate action, you're using scrap. So in your prowess, you'll see these rhombuses above next to prowess on your character sheet. You can mark one of those rectangles, which is an XP tracker for every time you roll a desperate action in a category.
I'm okay with you using the other gambit right now.
It's desperate.
And everyone else cool with me using the other gambit?
If you fail this roll, you will suffer you'll lose a lot of time because they're on vehicles, because you'll fall off yours, and you'll also suffer a level 2 harm called road burn, which will suck if you get that.
Would my armor help with that at all?
It would. Armor, you can expend armor to ignore a harm. I believe that's how it works. I can look this up. It will for sure help. That's exactly what it's for. But that's only if you fail, obviously. So that's desperate for. I'm gonna say actually this is gonna start at limited effect, because you're trying to break open the door on a moving vehicle and get in. I think the limited effect means you will break open the door and be hanging on the side of his vehicle as it's careening through streets trying to get away from cops. You won't be fully inside, you'll be hanging out trying to get in, if that makes sense. That's what limited effect will mean. Obviously, and like I said, just because I say it's limited effect doesn't mean that it always has to be that way. You can always there's some character abilities that might increase effect, cruise type stuff that can increase effect, or even pushing yourself instead of a die you can do increase effect. And there's the always lingering in the background, the devil's bargain, which means I come up with something spooky or bad to the roll that you accept to get standard effect if you want.
I'm just gonna push myself for this one to get standard effect.
So that's 2 stress.
And everyone's cool with me using the gambit again?
Yeah, go for
I
it.
think so.
Okay. Okay, so that's 1 bonus die on top of my ring too. All right, I'm crossing my fingers, man.
Get it.
Okay, now is a good time to introduce resistance rolls. So, let me make sure. I was looking up this armor. I got distracted. You can expend armor if you'd like. There's also something you can do at any
So
point
how would
Hang on a sec.
when you suffer a consequence.
Before you go on, how do I expend armor?
You would just tick it, and it would use it for this job. It would just be, it's the box that's next to armor. You would tick it.
Okay.
I think, let me see what it says. You have this type of armor that applies to the situation. You can mark an armor box to reduce or avoid a consequence instead of rolling to resist. When an armor box is, yeah, okay. Amon is taking level 2 harm scorched ribs, and the fight isn't even over yet, so Juan decides to use Amon's armor to reduce the harm. He marks an armor box, and harm becomes level 1, winged. So yeah, you could use it to reduce this consequence.
Winged?
I don't know what this this example means.
It's like, oh, you got winged.
So you can do that, and it would reduce to level 1 road burn. Actually, I would say it would avoid the consequence. You're just like using it fully. Another thing you can do, so you can expend that if you'd like, or you can roll a resistance roll, which this is where that column under like insight, prowess, or resolve comes in. This one I would be telling you what to roll, because a resistance roll is something that the GM imposes for you to like resist. You can any time you suffer any sort of consequence in the game, like literally anything, like if like you get seen or something.
I should ask. I don't see it anywhere.
It's over by your actions. It's like, it's the bold like categories above it, and you'll see that there's like a line through your actions, each of them, that separates the first dots from the rest of them. So the column represents your resistance attributes. So if you were to roll resistance for this one, I would say it's prowess, which you see you have 3 dots in prowess.
Okay.
Because you have at least 1 dot in helm, scrap, and skulk. So you can see the column lines up to be 3 dots.
Okay.
So and the way resistance rolls work is, once you choose to resist, you either reduce or avoid completely, to the GM's choice, the consequence. But you roll that die, and your what you get is how much, depending on how high you get, you will spend less stress. So it's a stress. It's more of a, so you can expend armor to completely avoid this right now, or you could expend stress potentially in a varied amount, from 0 to 6. Getting 6 stress right now would be horrendous, because you would be out of the score and you would have a trauma. So maybe it is a good idea to use your armor.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use my armor up. So I would. So it was the armor slot under, or next to the harm thing was ticked before. So I untick that now.
Oh, you can leave it ticked. It should be ticked when you use it, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we know that it was just used. Yeah. So keep in mind now, going forward, anytime I give you any sort of consequence, it can be harm, it can be you being seen by somebody, or you can always resist, and you will roll a resistance roll to see how much stress that you suffer.
I got my newest idea, my newest plot.
And also, and when it happens, it's not necessary. It doesn't reverse time when you resist something. Like the consequence will still happen, but it'll be reduced in some way, or like avoided somewhat in the fiction, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't take damage. You fall out of your vehicle, and as I said, this is still going to lose time. I'm going to tick 1 on the Cho escapes here.
All right.
Let's go back to somebody
I'd like
else
to.
here. Yeah.
Are there still like police cars going around?
Yes, and you are right now in an alleyway. Are you with O2 right now?
I think O2's here, but
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm here.
you two are together in an alleyway right now.
the police are walking up on me because they caught me fiddling with my Flipper
Actually,
Zero.
they're not walking up on you. They were just distracted and are now following on a hover bike in their squad car, following Fi down the street
Oh hell yeah!
in a different direction.
I'm gonna try to skulk and like just stealthily get on top of a speeding police car that's going towards the chase.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Stealthily get on top of a
noticing.
moving police. What?
I'm a fucking ninja.
I swear to God, every one of our like actions has been, I'm gonna do something fucking insane. All right, Turkey?
Look, everyone else has gotten some desperate experience. It's time for me.
Yeah. Okay. That sure sounds desperate because if they're about to speed off, and if they speed off, you're gonna get maybe level 2 harm run over.
Well, I believe in the heart of the cards. You said desperate. What's my effect here?
Yeah. What action are you using as well?
I'm using skulk to like just slip on without the driver noticing that I'm crouching on top of his car.
Epic.
I'm gonna say.
Hear the turkey sweat.
I'm gonna say for now it's a standard effect. I mean, you'll get on top of the car, but in the future, obviously that'll be what it is. I mean, it's standard effect. You are on top of the car without them noticing.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Desperate because not only will you be seen, you'll suffer some damage.
Okay. There it is, baby.
Goat, he's the goat.
You're
I'll
not
mark
seen.
that
You're
XP.
on a cop car. It starts
It's
speeding
going
off.
towards.
I want to ask you, how are you going to remain on the car as it starts speeding away? It's going like really fast. There's a lot of wind resistance picking up very quickly.
That's a good question, Turkey.
I forgot. Is this broad daylight or is it nighttime?
It's sort of twilight because there's some.
All right, I have an
fog
item here
rolling through.
on my scoundrel section called Fine Coat, and I could possibly say that my carbon weave cloak is very aerodynamic or something.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Maybe that's a possibility. I could also I could mark off my melee weapon.
I think what I would do for that is I would give you. You'd still have to make some sort of roll, but you would have increased effect from your cloak, I guess.
No, that's silly.
It is very silly.
That's
But so it won't let you do it outright.
I could like try to hold on and like push my knife into the hood and grab onto that.
Yeah.
Mark my melee weapon use and do that.
Okay. You knife in the roof. It sticks through, and you're on. You're fine. You're holding
Let's
on.
fucking go.
If you let go of this thing, you will fly off. And these are hover cars. They're like futuristic. They're going like 110 miles per hour. They're going crazy fast. The traffic has automated traffic, and they're on manual, zipping through in a high-speed chase right now.
Yeah, he's feeling the adrenaline now. It's like, oh shit, I did that.
Wild. Okay. You just watch your ninja friend jump onto a cop car, stick a knife in the top, and just speed off. What are you doing?
Okay.
I'll catch up with you later.
I'll catch up with you later, I guess. So all of our guys that we're chasing, all of our bounties are currently in the middle of this chase, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so
The cops are following your bounty right now.
the cops are following. Okay, badass.
Which is really bad.
This is awful. This is terrible. This is the worst it could have gone.
It could go so much worse. Don't you worry.
It could go so much.
This is pretty
worse.
standard for Forge in the Dark, honestly.
With
is
the amount
fire.
of shit that people have tried to do and gotten away with, it could be going so much worse. The parking lot, you said that there's a shit ton of bikes?
Yeah, and they're all hot wired.
They're all of them are hot wired.
Yes. Yes.
One of them are hot wired. Okay.
Wait, where were you? I hotwired the whole fucking parking lot. Just
I think she left to get a drink or something.
I left to get a drink. You hot wired the entire fucking When did you have time for that?
It was a great
okay,
effect.
so hold on. The way it works
Was that the flashback?
Hold on, let me explain. So the way it works is you can do something, and if you roll like really well, and if it has like okay, the effect will be great, right?
Okay.
It was like let's
I think
see.
you pushed yourself for a
The
greater
thing
effect.
is,
It was a
Turkey
standard.
did say 3 to 4.
Yes, and we only took 2, I think.
Okay, well I'm gonna run over to the parking lot after seeing this happen. I'm like, okay, fuck me, I guess. So I sort of like semi-hustle, like kind of exasperatedly over to the parking lot or whatever. Grab one of the hot wired bikes. Like exasperate, I'm like, oh fuck me, I guess. Okay, I guess I have to.
The best thing about everybody having done all of this right now is all of the cop cars that are definitely gone by now, or you can see the tail end of them leaving. So now you have a little bit more freedom in trying to decide what you're going to do, because the cops are not as on your tail as the rest of the crew. So you are now
Right.
like, what would you like to do?
Do we have any, do we have, like, any way to communicate with each other, like, over long distances? Do we have, like, fucking, like, earpieces
that's
or,
a
like,
piece of
commons or, like,
equipment,
cell
I think.
phones?
That would be a
Piece of
Cerberus type deal.
We
But
do
I
have
don't.
communicators as an option for like.
In the load, yeah.
Oh yeah. In your
So
ship
we-
load, or is that in
okay.
your
Well,
is that in your
Check off
personal?
communicator.
It's individual.
Okay.
Individual. Communicator. I don't see. Oh, yes, I do. Alright, communicator. I am going to communicate. Is that like a cell phone thing or like a text message thing?
I was thinking it was like
Or like
a radio.
Like an earpiece. Like
Yeah,
a
it's an
radio.
earpiece.
Okay, I'm gonna ask on the communicator, what direction are you guys headed right now?
What?
You're on top of a moving
What?
vehicle, wind going past. You're slamming a shield into a car to try to get in, and you're flying down with cops following after you.
Well, but like, yeah. So I'm
I
trying
sort
to
of
go.
shout
I will,
into the microphone, what direction are the bounties heading?
The opposite way of me.
What street?
You can give
Turkey
them.
Toilet
Yeah, they
Street
can.
I'm on.
They fill you in on the street names that they're on.
Okay.
Fi is
Okay.
headed in the opposite direction to the rest of the group, which is all going down in one direction of the city.
I want to
Do
know
I
where you're going to take
happen
them.
to know anything about the layout of the city and what any potential shortcuts could be?
I will say you can either make an action roll to try to figure that out in some way, or do some sort of flashback to figure that out.
A flashback would be 1 stress.
This flashback, depending on how elaborate you set it up to be, will be even 0 to 3 stress.
I'm going to say we flash back
Okay.
and we have a map of the city like laid out in front of us, just so at least the surrounding streets.
Yeah.
But like a map of like the general vicinity of this like hotel
The neighborhood.
that we study and know like these are like the most viable like exit routes. These are the most like
Yeah.
these are the major streets. These are the like most reliable side roads, and stuff like that.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna say that, and then I'm going to use. And then I would like. Sorry, you go first.
Yeah. So you can. This can be just a 1 stress flashback.
One stress flashback. All right.
And I will have you make some sort of action roll to utilize this information. Since you spend stress for it and it's this flashback, you will get some sort of benefit out of this, no matter what you roll.
All right.
So it'll be controlled, and even if you fail, I'll still give you something because it was a flashback. But
Alright.
Controlled for standard effect. You, depending on how you roll on whatever action you decide, you'll utilize this information badly or very effectively.
Alright.
So
Effect standard?
yeah,
Bonus dice, do I get any bonus dice?
only if you spend a gambit. You only have, wait, do you have one left even? I think we spent all of them actually.
I haven't done like anything so far, so I would
We've
imagine
used our gambits up.
Oh yeah, they're accrued
Three
resources. So
Oh, they're a crew thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say no bonus dice.
unless you push yourself.
Badass. Study. 5.
Okay.
5.
Success with the consequence. You do have a good
I'm looking for a short
layout
by
of
the
it.
way.
The consequence is not even that you're bad at studying. The consequence is that the way that they are heading, where your mark is heading, is into a bustling marketplace sector of Warren.
Right.
Which is really complicates the chase.
Okay.
That's the consequence. But you do have like a map of like how you can get around.
Okay, and I would like to take like a shortcut to sort of like cut them off, like sort of pincer them. So I'm not just like racing them. I'm like trying to cut them off at a certain point where I think it would be likely
Yeah.
to. And that's the point of the study roll, is to like figure out what the fastest route to the most likely place they'll be.
Sure.
Is.
Yeah. I'll say success with the consequence. You'll be able to get in front of them with this shortcut, but it will take more time away from the chase, and I'll tick 1 on Cho escapes because of the consequence.
Alright, slide. But I am in front of them now?
Yes, and you cut down some different streets using your map so that you're not involved in the exact chase, and you take a shortcut, and you're now in a bustling market sector. You see that a lot of these roads, vehicles aren't even allowed as you pull up. And you see that there's just lots of neon signs flashing, people walking with like street vendors with weird alien goo meals and like food truck type hover facilities everywhere.
All right.
And you can hear steadily approaching down the street.
Alright. Fuck. Alright. I am going to... Let's look at the motherfucking items list. Let's see. I am going to... Fuck. Alright, well now I'm in front of them. Can I get to... Is there an area, like, through this sector, or whatever? Fuck.
You see that there's a lot of signs everywhere that says no hover vehicles allowed. As soon as you like pull up on an alleyway next to it, regardless of this, you do hear them steadily approaching.
For now, I'm going to try and feed in the direction of where I think they're coming from.
Okay, you turn through an alleyway and you see directly in front of you them coming straight towards you. But I'm gonna cut over to Phi on the other side of town. These cops are chasing you, and you're leading them somewhere. What are you doing?
Oh, it looks like he got better.
The great question. Such a lovely question.
You're just speeding off on your thing. They've got their sirens blaring, and they're like sort of chasing you.
Okay.
Ostensibly chasing you to go to an emergency scene.
Yes. This is all of these things are true facts.
And you also were in. I'll say that flashback applies to you. All were involved in that flashback. You have a bit of a layout of the area, so you know, one, that they're heading in a rough direction of a marketplace, and two, that you're heading towards a like sort of highway sector where a lot of commerce is, and a lot of intersections of highly coordinated hover vehicle traffic.
Ooh, you turkey, you drive a good bargain.
That's just the direction you're heading in right now. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to like speed into it.
I understand very well.
And they're keeping a distance, and you're not going super fast because they're just following you to an emergency scene.
Just a reasonable speed. Okay. Good God. So,
I'll remind you that you can flash back if you have stress.
Yeah, no, I'm planning quite the flashback.
Okay.
So, I would like to flash back to a kind of like scrappy, awful argument that I'm having with Villainy, is that how you say that name? A hospital admin in a nearby hospital in the city.
Let me look at your here.
Yeah, they are
Villainy.
Villainy, they are my enemy, I will admit. That's part of the fight.
Just, you're not supposed to be in here. We told you we were banned. You're not even a fucking doctor.
I am a surgeon.
Constantly, you ask for medical help, and you need doctors, and there are never enough doctors. But you do not allow me, do you? No, you do not. This is why.
But there are certifications for this sort of thing.
What is a certification in what you can see is the true majesty of the biological form.
You call what you did to that man in that surgical room, in that operating room, magical? I was sick.
He lived, did he not?
But at what cost? Okay, what's the point of this flashback?
Scar tissue. What is wrong with scar tissue?
Based.
As I'm going through this conversation, I would like to see if there is. I'd like to just like remember or like get a vibe on. Are there any areas that accidents happen really frequently?
There's a seedier part of town that you were in when you met Turkey. That is where I think it's called the Loch Luna is. There's a seedier part of town for sure, where a lot of crime and violence happens. Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
It's maybe a turn and a little bit of distance from where you're at. But...
medical attention.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay. I see the point of this. Okay.
What's the stress gonna be on that flashback there?
I'll say that's a 2 stress flashback, just to navigate
that's so reasonable
to
of you.
where
So
that
reasonable
is.
of you.
But yeah, you get to a point and you see, sure enough, you're in a seedy part of town. You see somebody, the cops come by, and you see somebody shoot somebody in cold blood, and then turn and see cop cars with their sirens immediately.
I told you. Listen, I will. Okay, if you can apprehend the suspect, I will administer medical attention.
I'm gonna need
You
some.
knew that was
They get
gonna
out of the car.
happen?
They take out their blaster pistols and they're pointing. They might point them at you, depending on an action roll from you of some sort.
Okay.
They're pointing their guns. They might point them at you as well because this is
I'm
kind of a chaotic
understanding.
scene.
I'm understanding. No, I'm doing understanding, and I'm looking at my stress bar, and I'm noticing it's halfway filled. I am going to take as an item, find bedside manner,
Okay.
as well as a fine med kit,
Yeah. Oh,
and I'm going to,
you're
as
maxed out on load
earnestly
now.
as possible, take out my med kit and do as good a job as I think actual medics do when they pull up to a scene as this, full decorum and all the whole business.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to roll doctor.
I think this is convincing. I think you can convince them with your skills that you're a professional. So I'll say you can roll doctor. It'll be risky, meaning they'll just get a little suspicious of you if you fail.
Reasonable.
But you'll still do this, and so it'll be just a tick on their cops realize you lied if you fail. But for great effect, they will think that you. Actually, I'll say standard effect. They believe you that you're a doctor still.
Okay, this is. I am a doctor. I'm a doctor. Some people have called me doctors, at least.
Great effect would be taking a tick off of that clock, but I don't think you're there.
Yeah, ain't quite. The fives.
Okay. Instead of a tick, what happens is this guy that just shot this man points the gun at you, and then the cops point their gun at him, and so now you're in a standoff here.
Standoff, dude.
Holy shit.
He says, "I'll shoot him! I'll shoot this medic guy! This fucking creepy ass medic guy!" He's shaking with the gun. Some guy with a mask over his face, a hood up.
Samara fell off the bike, right?
Yes. Wait.
And
Did I fall off the bike or just...
you fell off, but you resisted the harm.
Yeah, you fell off, but
I
you
think.
resisted the harm. So you're on the ground right before they were about to blast into the marketplace.
If the car I'm on is approaching there, could I try to stick out a hand and get them back on something moving?
Yes, you could with a desperate action roll because you'd be extending your bike.
I also would like to contribute to this in some manner. If
Yes.
Is that possible?
Here is something that we haven't done, which we should have been doing a little bit more. There's other teamwork options. You can do...
Assist action.
There's an assist action, which just means you take a stress to give them an extra die.
Alright, I have less stress than you, so I will take that one stress. And do you think this is a scramble?
If you take the stress, then that means that Samara will have to roll. Because it's you assisting is you taking a stress to help somebody else.
Yeah,
in some
I'm
way do an
essentially
action.
assisting them in recovering and getting back in motion.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
that works.
I honestly think you probably have a better dice pool for an action like this than I do.
I have no scramble.
Okay, I do. I have one scramble, but
So there's also that's one of the teamwork options. See, on the rules reference 1, assist is take one stress off or 1d. Lead a group action, that doesn't really apply. Set up another character with your action. If you achieve it, any team members who follow up through your maneuver get +1 effect or improved position. Or a face danger doesn't apply. I guess assist really would be the best thing to do here, but if it would help. Or you could just roll straight and just jump on the bike yourself with no help. Or or...
Oh yeah, I mean my bike is theoretically somewhere around here, right?
Yeah, actually, you know what? It just spun off, so that's a really good point. You could just go and grab your bike and get back on it.
I think I'm just gonna go grab my bike and get on it.
Yeah, and you already took the tick of the time, so that consequence already came through.
Right.
So you're both on your bikes again, but now you're just a little bit behind this stuff that's happening. But now actually the cops are suspicious of you because you rolled up and tried to get in their vehicle. So now there's one cop car chasing specifically Samara, and this ninja is coming up beside. What is your character's name again?
Tampopo. That is his code name.
Tampopo?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, Tampopo.
I assume like every other cop but the one in the car knows because I jammed communications. It's like, there's a guy on your fucking car.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're not on a vehicle. You're just on. You're on the top of a cop car. Yeah, he's on it.
That's why it's so fucked.
And you don't even know you're there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say that is the cop that is now chasing Samara. It's you on top of the vehicle, so you see Tampopo on top.
All right, it's time to take this guy out. Time to kill a police officer. Can I sneak inside the vehicle from the roof?
Imagine if this was the crooked cop we fucking hate.
What action would you use for that?
Skulk.
And how would you be doing this? Like, describe what that looks like.
I do have hacking tools, so I'm just gonna like twist a knob, lower the window, and like swoop in like a little dipsy-doo, and just be in the back seat.
Skulk. Okay, yeah. If you click off your hacking tools, sure.
Okay, that is my last use of hacking. I'm gonna keep it checked because I want to remember that I've used that for my load.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Skulk.
That'll be a desperate, because if you fall off, you will suffer the same level 2 harm road burned.
This is so sad.
For standard effect, you... Actually, no. This is the same thing that I limited Samara's effect. So this will be limited effect. You'll open the door and be hanging out the side of a police car that's careening...
about to enter.
through
Okay.
streets. But you'll open the door and be hanging
this
outside
is
of it.
3 dice. Pushing is 2 stress, and you... What is the threshold you don't want to reach?
You don't want your stress to get full.
Yeah, if your stress bar fills, you're out for the count. Or you're...
Okay.
You can't... Essentially what it means is you can't take any actions for the rest of the job, which could really screw you if you're in a bad spot.
Alright, I think I want to push myself for better effect, actually.
Yeah, you can do that. So
I want to
that's 2
swoop
stress.
in there cleanly.
So you don't get an extra die
pushes it to
on
great?
that. Yeah, that'll be...
Alright.
No, that'll be standard effect. You're pushing it from limited
Right.
up to standard, which still means you're
It's
you're inside.
limited
Yes.
to drop down. Okay.
Great effect would mean something like you get inside and knife the cop in the driver.
I'll do that later, and I actually like that. That'll be a different thing.
Okay.
Bonus dice, 0 bonus.
Desperate standard.
4. Okay, we get a...
Success with a consequence. As you hack the door and you swing outside, you fling open the door, your hacking tool that you used to hack the door flies out and is gone with the wind.
Gone, so excellent. I'm okay with that. And can I just act again to kill this bitch and get in the driver's seat?
Yeah.
This is a stealth KO, and I will get a bonus die from shoot first because I'm attacking from hiding.
True. Okay.
This is big.
This will be desperate because if they fail, they will kick you out of the vehicle and you will take
Holy shit.
that level 2 harm still. For standard effect, you will at least... You might not kill, but you'll subdue the cop enough to throw them in the back seat, and you can pilot this.
I'm driving. All right, let's go. That's 1 bonus die from shoot first. Bitch.
You fall. You see the cop goes, get the fuck! Kicks you with their foot, and you fly out of the vehicle and start tumbling
am
onto
I-
the ground.
Am I not
Holy
mistaken that I thought he was going for the back door?
I got in, and now I'm trying to kill him.
And then they got
and get in the
kicked
seat.
out.
All right, let's make a.
Would you like to resist?
I think I would like to resist.
This will be a prowess
Kicked
resist.
out
All right.
the door.
This is one that I do get to pick as the GM. That is your prowess.
Why did it start playing the Jetpack Joyride theme on Spotify?
This is awesome.
I cannot believe this.
Yeah, and I should explain the way that this works. So, well, now that you rolled, so 3.
6 minus 3.
Yeah, 6 minus 3. So you gain. The way resistance works is you immediately when you do it, you're about to gain 6 stress, and then you reduce that amount by the highest die that you roll. So he gained 3 stress because 6 minus 3.
Fucking scuffed.
Yeah. But you don't take road burnt. But you're now very close to being out for the count, and you are still out of the vehicle on the ground. It's still careening towards Samara, but they stop in front of her. They stop the vehicle, and Samara, you see that they are. Wait, actually, no, you're on your hover bike, so they're chasing you. They're in full
Yeah,
chase.
I was gonna say they're not in front of me.
What would you like to do? You see your pal try to get in and subdue them, but you see him get kicked out and onto the street.
Like there's just a boot that goes out the window.
I'm gonna look behind me, and kind of swoop around and turn around like a quick U-turn, and slow down just enough to make it easy for Tampopo to hop on.
Okay.
I do have something I scream as I get thrown out.
This will be risky because you will need to slow enough down to grab him off the street, which the risk is that the cops will pull up and get within blaster firing range if you take too much time, and they'll be firing blasters at you or telling you to get on the ground, cop style.
Oh, no, I'm full speed pulling a U-turn.
Okay.
Trying to hopefully losing the cops that are on my tail.
Oh, so they'll just fully so this will actually be this will be this will be two things. If you want to pick him up, that's one thing, and then or getting lost right now is a different thing.
So I'll start first. I'll break this into a couple actions, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and helm to try and quickly, pull a U-turn and lose the cops that are on my tail.
Okay. Yes, you can definitely do that. That'll be risky for standard effect. You'll lose them for the time being.
Okay.
The risk being that they'll get closer to catching you.
I have a question, Turkey.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Can I mark a detonator as a smoke bomb?
That would be sort of a modifying an item thing. You can do that using downtime, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I rolled a 6 on that one.
Yeah, so you lose the cops. You're in a nearby alleyway. Woo, woo. You hear them go off into the distance, thinking that a different hover bike is you.
Sick. All right.
Okay.
And then I will go over and pick up Tampopo.
I'm just gonna hop on, make myself slight on the back of the bike.
Now
that
as
we have some time to talk. How the hell did he know we were coming?
Maybe it has something to do with the bomb I strapped onto his bike.
Shit.
I will now ask for some sort of action roll because now this action roll is for the amount of time that this is taking. away from chasing Cho. Having
So
to
yeah,
lose all these cops.
I'm gonna try and use Helm again to catch back up at full speed.
Okay.
We're kind of like in the urban jungle right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like getting into a busy market district.
Yeah. This will be just, how long it takes you to get to that market district where there's a lot of signs that say no hover vehicles allowed. You could, by all means, break that rule. It would be nuts, but you could do it. Yes. This will be just some sort of action for how fast you can get there.
I do have something that, I mean, we're not there yet, so I think once we get there, I'll do this.
Does the hover vehicles thing not include the cars?
What do you mean?
The cops.
No, I'm saying
we could just...
I'm saying the guy we're chasing, Cho.
Oh yeah, that means that either they are driving in they're driving into a place where they're not allowed to drive that hover bike, or they're gonna ditch it. You're not close enough to know that quite yet, but you're.
So
yeah.
So in that case, I'm gonna use Helm to try and like catch up at speed, but like try and stay a little bit out of the cops' line of sight.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. That'll be I'll say that's this will just be risky for standard effect. Standard effect, you won't waste any time, and you'll get to that market district without any ticks. But if you fail, you'll just add 1 tick to Cho escapes.
All right. Sick. Did it.
Okay. You get up. You see up ahead, just like 1 block away, Cho jumps off the motorbike, just sort of breaks it with, it has some sort of like air brake, blows wind. It blows through some sort of food stand. You see just slimy slugs go everywhere over people's faces, and they start booking it on foot into a crowd of people.
I'm going to point and say at Cho and yell, I want to sway here, and I'm going to yell, catch that pervert!
Excellent.
Who are you swaying right now?
The crowd who's seeing this guy fucking booking it from sirens and angered people.
Interesting. I'll say risky because you might really like, this is a weird request, and limited effect. Limited effect meaning you won't convince anyone to chase them, but they'll be on your side about the situation.
Hell yeah. Alright. 2 dice, that's good enough for me.
Okay, you see, I'm gonna for this, there's a success with the consequences. They're on your side about this situation, but I'm gonna start a clock and tick 1. A 4-segment clock that's called just crowd reports you.
We're the perverts. No,
somebody
dude.
People are like, they're like, okay, he's chasing a pervert. Weird situation, but they're watching you, and if you continue to act sus, they might call the cops on you.
Wait, I look like a pervert.
Because you guys just like jumped out of moving vehicles and are all cut up, and you're like, catch that pervert. It's suspicious to them, but they believe you for now.
All right.
And also, you see pulling up right next to you, actually a bit ahead towards the market district, O2. You get there a little bit before them. Anything you would like to do? And also, would you like to ditch your vehicle, or are you driving it into this marketplace?
If I see everyone else, I'm gonna probably ditch my vehicle.
Okay. you're actually ahead of them. You're in an alleyway that sort of cuts off the marketplace and actually closer to Cho right now.
I'm closer to Cho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I see Cho?
Yeah, you see them ducking and weaving. They're trying to push people aside to like dive into this. There's just a crowd of like marketplace people, and they're like, "Hey, watch it, my cabbages!" As they're pushing through. Yeah, they're on foot.
I am going to actually run towards them and try to probably apprehend them, which I assume would be Scrap.
Yeah. If you just want to.
Yeah. Let's try to fucking apprehend Scrap. Cho.
I'll say this is a risky action. The risk being that if you're beating someone up, this might.
I'm not beating someone up. I'm more trying to like fucking
citizens arrest. If you
citizens arrest.
Well, did you hear?
More like tackle them almost. You know. Tackle slash.
I assume O2 is like pervert detained.
Get back my grandma's bloomers, you perv.
Yeah, you can do that. It'll be par for the course for things, but some real prudes might get a little suspicious of it. So it'll be 1 tick on this suspicion clock.
All right, yeah.
If you fail, so that's risky.
Yeah, I'd like to essentially like tackle them.
Risky for limited effect, meaning they're still fighting to get away. You will become locked in. You'll have at least slowed them down enough that they're not able to run, but you won't have fully apprehended them. Is what limited will mean.
Okay.
So risky.
Like
for
I
limited.
won't be able to like risky and limited.
Yeah, you have engaged them in enough combat, or like enough like, not necessarily combat because you're not trying to like fight them. You're trying to.
I'm just trying to like stop them from moving.
But they're trying to wiggle away from you. So this will be limited if you succeed, because you'll.
And 0 bonus dice. All right.
Ooh, didn't fail.
5/5. Not 5/5. That's not true. 4.
I'm gonna say so. Success with a consequence. I am gonna tick 1 on this suspicion clock, but you do slow them down enough that they are now locked and engaged with you. And right now I'm gonna go all the way to the other side of the city to Phi. There's a gun pointed at your head. Cops are pointing at the guy holding the gun. He's shaking, holding his blaster to you. I'll fucking shoot. Don't shoot me. I'll shoot.
That's not what I said. It's out of character. Okay, so I've got a gun pointed at me. That's epic. This is awesome.
And there are 2 cops pointing guns at the person pointing a gun at you.
Okay, yeah, so that doesn't... Problem is that, like, the 2v1 doesn't help when there's a bullet in my chest. So...
Oh, I'm gonna -1 on the Cho escapes for that.
Epic.
Let's fucking go.
Less pizza, alright. I will go ahead. Oh, I have some really funny options, but they're just exceedingly risky for no reason.
I love funny options.
This is a fun system. I really like this.
Right?
No,
It's so
I
frantic.
adore the system.
You're so in control and so not in control.
Yeah, that's the best part.
And the
You can do
combat,
whatever.
or like not necessarily combat, but like the action feels way more actiony than like a D&D.
Yes, 100%. I'm not hitting the guy with the sword. I'm doing high-speed police chase, but it's real.
It's so much more like RP heavy.
Yes, it's so good. Okay,
I'll fucking shoot!
I'm going to raise all 4 of my hands. And I'm saying, whoa,
I'm just a medic. I understand you and that that gentle being. I had a disagreement. I am not moving.
And I'm gonna like glance over towards the cops. And really have my triple pupil eyes just like kind of darting back and forth between them, like, chill, guys, please, chill, please, for love of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy is clearly unstable, shaking his gun. I'm gonna have to ask for some sort of action roll to defuse the situation in some way. As you're saying, you're holding your hands up.
I'm going to go ahead. It is difficult. I'm going to attempt to maybe push my luck a little again with my bedside manner, and we're gonna go ahead with the doctor bit. I don't know if I have any experience with mental health situations.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
it's psychiatry.
Well, yes, but we've established I don't know how formal my education is.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what I think trained field medics would say during, psychiatry needed situations like this.
I think you're not formally trained, but
you follow that training as best as I can.
Yeah, you've read
despite-
some hollow books.
Yeah.
So you've
We're
heard
gonna
of
go doctor
situations
mode.
like this.
Yes, we're going doctor mode.
In-house MD,
You see a
dude.
vision of me, I wink. Use your ninja way.
Okay, this will be
That's beautiful.
this will be desperate. Desperate for great effect, meaning you will get him to literally lower his weapon if you succeed.
I gets capped.
But
Awesome.
desperate because if you fail, he'll
I'm
fucking
getting
shoot
shot.
you. Yeah.
Whatever. So I haven't been shot before. Whatever.
That'll be he's not a very good shot, so it'll be a level 2 harm blaster shot. It won't be like that lethal.
Oh, it's only a little lethal. All right, I'll go ahead and roll that. No
But yes,
bonus
remember to
dice.
mark your XP for desperate.
Oh wait,
Okay.
do I get a bonus dice because it's desperate?
No. Wait, for a character
No,
ability?
I
or-
did not push you right. I did not.
No, okay. Success with a consequence.
Since he shoots me in the foot instead.
I think what it is, yeah. I think he shoots, but you buy enough time that he shoots while the cops have moved up on him, and his arm goes up, and you only suffer a level 1 harm blaster shot. So now,
Okay.
I mean, you can resist this consequence if you like, I should say.
For resisting the consequence, that'd be like I can attempt to resist via an item or resist via like an action.
Either way, you might have an item. I don't know if you...
I would like to attempt to resist via scramble.
It would actually be your prowess that you would resist with.
Oh, okay.
Which is related to scramble.
Yeah,
So it'd actually
we'll
be
go with
better.
prowess.
You'd have 3 dice.
Okay, so I just click on the prowess and then I just click submit and we're all good.
Yeah. Okay, so you will gain 3 stress, but you do not take any harm.
Shit, I might have honestly preferred the. All right, all good. I don't suppose that you can indulge in your vice in the middle of the scene. By
Not in the middle of a job at
preparing a
all.
gunshot.
No.
All right, noted.
But you see that he shoots and he drops his gun as the cops grab him and they take some glowing handcuff like sci-fi shit and put him in cuffs. Like, you're coming with us. Thanks, Doc. And they just get in their squad car and leave you. They just drive off. Now
Smart, go
you're-
Hilpo too.
You're on the other side of town, in a seedy part of town, with your hover bike, alone.
And
Time for a bit
is
of-
the guy bleeding out on the ground, or did they take him too?
He's bleeding on the ground because he's your responsibility as the paramedic.
Well, I'd like to go ahead. I'm going to use a charge on my fine medkit. Do you take those up or down to represent the charge? I don't.
Normally you tick it up, actually, because it's like
Okay.
you're ticking it as you use it, if that makes sense.
I guess
So,
that
like,
makes sense. So
everything
I'll-
starts unticked.
All right. I'll go ahead and I'd like to use my fine medikit, please, in order to attempt to repair this, to stabilize this guy with the gunshot wound.
Yeah, I'll have this
Due to
be...
a possession, I don't think I could leave him alone.
Yeah, this will be an action roll because he is, like, bleeding from a blaster wound.
I'll doctor it.
This will be risky for standard.
Okay. And
You'll stabilize him. He might not be conscious, but... you'll stabilize him.
whatever. I don't need conscious. I need stable.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Can you repeat the
Random criminal?
Is this Bruce Wayne's dad?
maybe? Can you repeat the position effect again? Sorry.
Risky for standard, meaning risky meaning he'll not be stabilized and still be bleeding. And there's not much you can do for him. Okay.
Hey, I'm a damn fine doc.
Success with a consequence. The consequence is he does wake up when you stabilize him. He grips you with like his bloody hand and says, "Help me! I need to get somewhere safe, please."
I am helping you. Yes, that is literally what I am doing.
No hospital, please. No hospitals.
Oh, do not worry. They hate me too.
Really confused.
No, you could just leave me here, bro.
Oh, okay, I don't care right now. Just take me somewhere safe.
Okay.
He's getting taken to the skin sewer.
I do not sell my.
I guess you just generated a secondary goal of this job to save this
awesome.
random man.
This random ass.
He's gonna make us a level 99 mafia boss, dude.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. I'm level 1 crook. So is he stable enough to like for me to like help move him to the bike?
Yeah, you packed his wound. You know that you're confident in your abilities that he's stable for now. You can like,
Okay.
kinda, like firearm carry him wherever you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him over to the hover bike. Okay, no hospital. All right, Turkey.
You're the hospital, though. You are the hospital.
I am the hospital, but it's like
I am the hospital.
I am the hospital. Well, okay, let me. What would Fi do? Because honestly, normally his bit is not necessarily the safety of the person after the surgery. It's the whole surgery part.
Maybe. Yeah, what's going on in Fi's mind with this? What does
Fi's
Fi
mind,
see
it's
this
like,
as?
It's well, because in Fi's mind, they're thinking, right?
What is this? I am not. I do not do transport. What is this? Oh, what have I gotten myself into? Very well.
He sounds like evil Greg the Breed.
That is honestly, I haven't done characters that like let me Greg the Green very much, but that is my default voice for half of all characters ever. So yeah, it was inevitable.
As you should.
Yeah. All right, very well. Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm going to go ahead. Can I? Okay, so my bedside manner and my medic garb, I believe they do not count towards my weight, which is very light, very nice. Therefore, I can still get away with... Oh, I have a really funny option. I just realized what he would do. Alright, I'm gonna get him onto the bike, right? And I'm going to you'll notice I'm going to tick off illicit drugs and syringes and applicators.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Experiment time.
I would like to prepare at like a medium sedative. I want to knock this guy out. The plan was not for him to be awake. That wasn't the goal here. My job's harder if he's awake, you know? And I would like to say to him, okay, I need to administer this. This is an antibiotic. Otherwise, your wound, it will infect, it will fester, it will ooze. You do not want the oozing of your wound, no?
Okay, yeah, just put it in. Whatever.
I straight up stab the guy with it.
Oh, it kicks in as he knocks out.
That fentanyl.
Very good, very good. I'm just gonna drive like 2 blocks away and set him down near an alley.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And then
I'm
just leave
being
him.
real for what Fi would do.
Yes.
This guy, I have no loyalty to him.
Okay.
He just got shot. You know.
And with that, I'll cut over to the other group.
Yeah.
And
I want to go to where Joe is restrained, and I want to lower my voice and say, "Hey, look, listen. We made a lot of noise. You made a lot of noise. I don't know what you're up to or what your story is, but right now, the knives are going to notice, the police are after you, and we're a lot better than either of them for you. So let's get some peace and quiet, all right?"
the Urbot
I'd
on
just like to sway
Joe's
him.
back says, "What's going on? What is happening? Everything's moving so fast."
I just want to sway him to calm down and let us take him somewhere quiet where there's not fucking pandemonium, there's not cops or onlookers or people who might, like,
Okay.
report him and
Cho is
up the
really
grapevine.
tense and crazy right now, trying to fight.
He's
You can't
fucking
sway.
crazy.
So I will say this is a risky for limited effect. And the limited
Okay.
effect is you will get 1 tick on the Cho escapes clock gone. Because he's still going to be fighting, but you might cause him to hesitate.
All right, let's do it. Fuck.
Instead, he breaks a little bit of a distance away while you're distracted and starts sprinting away from you guys. You now are 3 together watching him. He's just feet away, sprinting off.
Probably gets
Are
Okay.
we still sticking to that all limbs attached sort of deal?
Let's keep the limbs on, but like, if he loses a knee, then that's fine.
Okay. How clear a shot do I have at him currently?
You have with a gun, you have a very clear shot. He's not very far away.
Now with the gun, I have a different idea.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to Captain America throw my shield as hard as possible at his kneecaps, at the back of his kneecaps as he runs away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ligaments, dude. Dude, his ligaments.
I'll say this is
Bro doesn't need knees.
This is a risky for I'll say great effect. You'll really hamper his mobility.
Yeah, and this is scrap.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh. Your shield skids by his feet, and he just hops over it and continues to sprint away.
My fault.
I'm adding another tick here. You see he disappears slightly behind. You still see his shoulder and a little gleam of the Urbot on his back as it like dips behind people. You're starting to lose him in the crowd slightly.
I forgot. Did we rule that I could have like a sick magnet thing in my
Yes.
shield?
You can, your shield comes right back to you.
All right, sick. That's fucking rad. I love that.
As he's getting away,
can I skulk to swipe the Urbot?
Yeah. Yeah, you just want to like
Because it seems
remove
important
it.
to it. Yeah, I'm just gonna swipe it
Okay.
like a thief in the night. What's my position in effect here?
That'll be this will actually be desperate because
It's so much fucking XP, dude.
this is the last second that you have before you is lost in this crowd, and you'll have to like start searching for him. But it'll be for great effect because you've very accurately surmised that this is an important part of this puzzle here.
I believe in the heart of the cards.
I believe. Do you? All right.
I mean,
all right.
Success with a
You-
consequence. You swipe the Urbot, and it goes, "Oh, hi, friend.
Hey there, pal. What's up?
Do you want a hug?" And it hugs you. It's like a tiny little robot,
Oh.
and it hugs you.
Hey, this is nice.
I'm gonna delete this clock because it's no longer relevant for the moment. As Cho turns around, realizing that this robot is gone, and comes back into the crowd, and sees you there with the Urbot. You give that back.
Jones agrees.
We talk.
All right, we're talking.
Are there still sirens?
No, there's lots of crowd looking.
Okay.
Crowd is like sort of suspicious of you. That 2 ticks is still active of the crowd reporting you.
Is this a chat you want to have out in the open?
No. Let's go somewhere, I guess.
Good man.
All right. I don't like you with that thing. Are you gonna hurt him?
No.
I'm gonna have to ask for an action roll to see if Cho believes that you have good
Yeah,
intentions.
I think this sounds like a perfect sway.
Okay.
I mean, we don't.
This will be.
intend
This will be.
hurt the robot.
Actually, this will be another desperate for great effect because the score. It's not a score. It's a job in the system. The job will be over if you succeed this. If you fail, it's desperate, meaning Cho will not trust you and try to get this. robot
Anyone
back.
want to assist?
I will
And-
assist.
Negotiations will be over if you fail, because he will not trust you.
I will assist in any way I can.
Yeah, I would love a bonus die here. I have 2
You can take
pips.
Samara can take 1 stress to give
All right.
Tempopo an extra die.
I'm taking 1 stress. Go ahead.
Risky.
Is it desperate for?
No, it was
great
desperate.
effect?
Oh, hang on. Oh, here it is. Wait, I opened a lot of macros. I'm just gonna redo that. Wait, is it here? Hang on. Oh god, that's the whole window. Close my sheet. That's great. Bonus die, 1. Shazam. Is that a crit?
Let's
That
go.
is a critical. So not only do you succeed, Cho actually really trusts that you're looks into your eyes in this moment. Really trusts you for some reason. You think. Fine. Let's go somewhere where the cops won't see us anymore.
I know a burger joint.
Amazing.
And scene.
And that's the end of our session.
Holy shit.
This was fucking fun.
We gotta,
This is fun as hell.
gotta play
I quite
this
like
shit
we
more.
gotta continue it,
Yes.
dude. We gotta keep it going.
I gotta be real. I kind of like that system more than 5e.
I mean, yeah.
I'm telling you.
It was
I'm
fun as hell.
telling you guys.
this is
And I'm listening.
Is real.
this
Why?
is like exactly what I want out of 5e. That I'm not kidding.
I'm telling you, the system is amazing. It's incredible.
It's so good.
Fuck yeah.
So then, do I reset like my stress?
No, actually, because
We have to indulge in
if we
vice
do a
downtime.
follow up, the next thing we'll do is downtime, which is where you indulge your vice potentially to lower your stress.
I would
Yeah,
so fucking love to do a follow up.
Yes.
Just keep doing this. It's sick
Yeah.
too because it's kind of like lower stakes, like not as much overarching
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
you know.
So
Any
far.
of you that are available, maybe I know Croc probably is not available, but any of you are
Depends.
available on this shenanigans list of days. I have some time.
I'd
It
probably-
depends. I'll update you. I could
Yeah.
maybe take a day and pop in.
For sure. We can do any
Okay,
amount
great.
of us. This system is flexible. Like, a character can disappear even in the rules of the system. So, like, anybody that can pop in, pop out.
Oh wow, that was a lot of fun.
That
Oh, yeah.
was awesome.
I just love... The great thing about it is it just, like, it does not feel... Like, D&D... I love it, but, you know, there's a lot of parts of it that drag. You know, there's a lot
Yeah.
of things that just feel real slow.
Playing this,
honestly-
it feels like 5e is just in a limbo where it's not that like quick fiction, and it's also not that optimization scratching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't get
It's
the
fine.
crunchiness of combat that you get from some other versions of
Yeah,
D&D.
it's not so crunchy. It's honestly not so tactical.
Yeah. Which, granted, was people's complaints about 4E, so it makes sense that they.
And I
rolled
like-
that.
I like that things that you do are not... It's not like just a flat DC that you're trying to beat, and then it's just a black and white
Yeah.
pass or fail. It's like
Now, I like.
it introduces different fictional elements, everything you do.
Yes, and I really like that because, like, one of my biggest gripes about D&D is that, like, you're really telling me that every single thing is got to be based on a D20 roll, and either it happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And so optimally, people just end up with like plus 10 in the stats that
Right.
matter, and then it's
And
whatever.
then you just do anything you want, and nothing
Yeah.
bad happens. And also, yeah, nothing... if you don't have it, then nothing good ever happens. You know,
Yeah,
it's just-
I hate to like be doing weighted coin flips for things that really, really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pathfinder addresses this.
And I also
That's true.
and I also got to
That's
say I had next to nothing prepared for today. Like, it's so
Yeah.
fluid of a system that I
Shit
basically
just worked.
improv is so easy because
Improv, and it was improv, yet it felt full.
God,
Yeah.
I've wanted to play this kind of character for a long time. Not only a ninja, but just like a guy who's genuine.
I think
genuine
I think the
guy.
reason that it like makes improv easy is because just because of that simple mechanic of having a 4 or 5 makes a success with the complication, because it forces
Yep.
me to think, what's the complication in this situation?
Application can be a good or a bad or a vague. In
you're
other, in whatever
constantly-
case, it adds more detail.
Yeah, and it's
can't
constantly
believe-
failing. You're succeeding, but there's more stuff happening. You know, it's like
Yeah.
introduces more things, and I have to think of what that is, and then it just snowballs into an exciting thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe my first roll was like the worst flub possible, and I ended on a crit.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That was the most well-timed crit ever.
The Phi side story too was great.
The crits, the crit like successes and fails, they feel still really weighty without like feeling so awful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Also, the way the critical works, because I mean, you had already had great effect, but it would be like maximum effect. I think there is
Yeah.
a level higher, but
Yeah,
normally,
extreme.
yeah, extreme effect. Yes, there's also like no effect. If I really thought that something you were doing just would not work, it would be no effect, which
Yeah.
you
And
can
we don't
still
have to
push
do
for
that.
limited. Like, you can still like have wiggle room even then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a critical just increases it in effect level, which I like,
Yeah.
because it's like if something's next to impossible, it doesn't. It also is like, you know, nat 20s always feel a little like, okay, you just seduced the dragon, you know. It's,
Yeah, whatever.
whereas this feels like, yeah, it feels like you're rewarded for that rarity of critical, but
It just
it's like
defines it so like well in contrast to D&D, where it's like, oh, good DMs, if you want, you can maybe add some degrees. I don't know, I won't define it for you, but you can do it.
And yet, this system has so many damn vagaries.
yeah.
Like, but it's like vague in the best ways possible. Because D&D's
Yeah.
vague in really annoying ways, and then it's really specific about a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is like all rule of cool for the most part. Like it allows for so much cool shit.
Rule of slick.
Rule of
Slick.
yeah. Yeah.
Slick.
Slick.
Yeah.
I got
it's
so
very
much fucking XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, rude.
So the way that XP does work is once that bar, if that bar is filled, then you get to add an extra dot on something.
Okay,
In
and
that
also should we do playbook advancement XP?
Yeah, we can. I need to go to bed now, but
Sorry.
if we do a follow up, we can do some XP.
Okay.
That's more like bookkeeping thing.
Yeah.
Which would be nice to do at the top of something, not end on a high note, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as did we VOD boy this?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
Oh, awesome.
because I'm seeing some of these that I did think I addressed some challenges with audacity and charm.
Yeah. And
Well,
yeah, if you're interested, always take a look at the special abilities in the future and like the book is great. There's like a lot of shit in there.
Yeah, how do the
I've
veteran
seen
abilities
it, like,
work? Can
all
you just
day. I've been so hyped for this.
The veteran
You just
means
get
you can
the-
just take any playbook. So really,
anytime?
yeah. Well,
anytime you can take a special?
anytime you level up, yeah. Like if you get enough XP, you can take from any playbook. So you can basically, it's essentially just like multi-class to hell. Like you can do whatever you want.
Hell yeah, I need to get some mystic features.
The playbook only determines like some starting dots and like one ability, and that's it. Like the rest
And
of it is like custom.
some stuff. I don't know what a fine code would do.
I think that kind of stuff, it's like, I have fine clothing. It's like, for you're in an area, at least for fine like clothing, it's like, oh, I can convince them that I'm wealthy and upper class. Look at my clothing. It's so
Yes.
nice.
Kind of a
I'm a
fine,
doctor, I
a
come
fine
from
sidearm.
Madrid.
Oh, it's in items. What does fine sidearm say? Customized or strange. Can fire mystic ammunition. Cool.
Fire.
Fine coat. Heavy but well made and well kept coat. Distinctive and with a history. Alright, I guess I can think about those.
Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, guys.
Alright, good night, turkey.
Yeah.